Let's go Sunclandltw Sunclan. Sunclapplegggoo.
Alright, hello everybody, welcome to the grand finals for season 3 of Team Wars. I'm PDS, joined by Nefra.
Hey, it's me, Nefra.
So we're gonna have Bricks and Potatoes versus Sunclan, playing for over $3,000 as the grand prize.
Yeah.
These two teams actually haven't faced each other yet this season, but they're in their last appearances. They've obviously they both won, but Bricks and Potatoes went 10-8 versus Forbidden Memory, and Sunclan went 10-8 also versus Creeping Death.
Yeah, both teams showing very strong performances, especially as soon as the playoffs started. They it felt like they picked things up and showed their stuff right away. A lot of good players, obviously, on all the playoff teams, but especially Bricks having like a lot of gold players, and Sunclan probably gonna be a lot of the players on the gold icon list for this KC Cup, I reckon. But it looks like we're going into game 1 already.
So we have Ishizu versus Taya. So it looks like the Taya is obviously rocking the Holy Guard.
I'm in World View real quick, so I'm gonna have to change that since I changed accounts.
Alright, so we have Holy Guard from Liam. We are all familiar with the Banish control. And it's interesting that they actually chose to start with this deck, but it's understandable. They made it a call based on Brick's past performances in the playoffs, so they decided that this was the best deck to start with.
Yeah, I think the Holy Guard deck is really, really hard to deal with. Like, what exactly even outs it specifically? I guess something that runs Trinade can
Trinade,
block it, yeah. But
Trinade's really good, and Mill deck is actually really good versus it, but I don't think we'll be seeing that today.
yeah, I mean, Mill, you never know. Timmy is known for stall kind of decks, and Mill kind of goes in the same line, so maybe he has been helping them with the decks. But yeah, that's somewhat unlikely, I feel like, as well.
So we see a very average start here for the Vampire player. Sets up his takeover. In this position, it's actually fine for him because he'll be able to set up a Grace next turn, which is very, very good versus this Banish Control. And the Banish Control deck has a lot of difficulty dealing with, in specific, Gozuki, but when the Retainer is at 1700, it's just enough to kill basically all their monsters as well. The only thing the Banish Control deck really needs to start with the Amazonas portion, or they struggle a lot.
Yeah, I mean, also a big game changer in this matchup could, in theory, be a Johnny Mirford's. Whoa, only one back row card here from the Banish Control. That's looking like it might be over already, almost.
Yeah, he's gonna get the Familiar Search here. He's gonna get a Grace. He gets to pop the back row.
Yeah.
It would be even better if the Gozuki was a Samurai Skull.
Oh, for sure.
Like, yeah. But he's in a very good spot right now. This is still...
I mean, he's threatening
lethal.
lethal, yeah, exactly. And Trinade on top of that as well. Oh my lord. Okay. He needs a Karibo now. Either a normal Karibo or a Sur Karibo. I mean, any Karibo would do. Or Gores, but we don't have
Saving
that.
Grace would have been a Canadian.
A quick scoop here. Looks like Gift is gonna take this one. Very unfortunate start for Liam, but it'd be like that sometimes.
Yeah, so let's see. I think if I'm playing this stall deck, I'd be pairing it with... Well, usually the way that I do decks is like, alright, if I'm playing this, then the second deck is going to be something to beat what beat my first deck. So if this deck loses the Vampires, then his second deck should be Heroes.
Yeah, I feel like Heroes is definitely a very likely contender, just in general, because it's such a strong deck in this meta still, especially paired up with all the back row, and it does have a good matchup against Vampires. So let's see if that's the case.
Yeah, usually this is a counter deck more so, I'd like to say. I mean, it is a very versatile deck, but usually you see teams bringing this Banish Control deck versus Silent Magician. It's interesting that they chose to start with it, and that might indicate that they have more. Obviously, they'd have two, but they might even have up to three of this Banish Control deck.
Yeah, that would not surprise me. I think it was a really good deck to send in first when it wasn't as popular and it threw people off more, so you didn't know the deck lists as well, you didn't know the tech choices. For example, like you weren't sure how many DDS Silence you might see or whether you might see him, but now it's a lot more popular of a deck, so it doesn't throw people off as much.
So we see them with the Seal Tombs, Ishi's, but he's going second, so the Vampire player is actually gonna be able to set up at least. He's gonna at least be able to send something to the grave, especially on his turn.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, can't say for sure. It could be No Mortal Can Resist, but probably gonna be the Sealed Tombs here, and the 20 cards most likely indicating the hero deck. But I mean, you can play 20 card Vampires for sure as well.
Yeah, usually you like to play at least 22 because they like to squeeze in those like widespreads or drop.
Yeah, those anti-hero cards to help with that hard matchup there. Looks like he got pretty much the same startup here, except he has that Samurai Skull instead this time around.
Yeah, and obviously you want to summon this Retainer in attack position because you don't want like Drill Dark piercing 1600 for...
Yeah, the piercing is definitely a huge part for this matchup's difficulty. I feel like the only better discard for him at this point would have been a Grimzen, since it would have prevented monster destruction by paying 1,000 life points, but double set at least.
I was gonna say we might even see him seal tombs right now, but he's deciding to not because he thinks it's here.
Yeah, well, he's about to reveal hopefully what he's playing unless he passes, but that would be highly unfortunate. And it is indeed Heroes.
So we can kind of bait him here with the when to activate his takeover.
Yeah, I feel like you probably don't do it though on that attack. Well, depends on the back row. Well, it's kind of hard to say, right? Because you lose your monster, you can't resummon it though, since it doesn't come out from its own effect. The replay does happen. Yeah, it's kind of hard to say. Depends highly on the back row. Let's see how many face downs there are also. If Seal Tomes are activated though, he probably will try and save his monster though, I reckon. Since that would like put him off a turn. I think another reason why Vampire Takeover is so great is not only do you get a monster back and the field spell, but because you search the field spell, you basically find your deck by one extra card after searching the trap card.
Yeah, the card is amazing. You get the field spell, you get a monster, and then the monster gets you a monster. Or or maybe you're playing 2 takeover, I don't know.
Yeah, several takeover, I mean, that would be something new already.
So here's the takeover, and he won't be able to summon the familiar, but the retainer will be just enough to kill the celestial, but we're gonna see a mass change. And he could have an additional monster in his hand. It could also be another mass change though.
Yeah, also playing around a possible floodgate trap hole. Of course, not super likely, but just in case, chaining that mass change, allowing him to force the floodgate to miss timing here and not be activatable, just in case.
So we're seeing 500 damage here, and there's the wide. You hate to see it happen. All right, mass change. Interesting.
Gonna be a defense.
So he's gonna have to put this. Yeah, he's gonna have to put it into a defense position. He must really like his back row, because both of these monsters can destroy it. So that's really interesting to me. Hopefully, no grace here.
I mean, that must be some really good background now that you mention it, since Treacherous would not be enough with Samurai Skull's second ability of summoning something back. So that's gonna.
He's got to have like Wall of D in the back, or he's bluffing a Wall of D.
Or actually, in my mind, I always struggle with Seal Tombs, because in my mind it equals with Necro Valley. It's not exactly the same. But I feel like Samurai Skull's effect does go off or doesn't go off with Seal Tombs?
It does go off, yes.
Yeah. So if Seal Tombs block that, I guess Treacherous would be an answer kind of, but not the case here. I suppose Wall of Disruption could kind of save him as a possibility, but that's...
Wall of D would be great here, as long as
it doesn't get
Gift
popped.
Doesn't have Grace, yeah.
Or
Grace,
Grenade, yeah.
But he can't get to his familiar this turn, so he's gonna have to have hard drawn it. They're both sealed tombs. Both of these players with the sealed tombs, and Gift is currently under sealed tombs. We might see him return it to his opponent, but there's only a Celestial in the grave, so...
Enemy Controller also not that uncommon of a card in Heroes lately, since a lot of people prefer to run like only one copy. Whoa, switching both in defense. I was gonna say it's a bit of a risky move to play around a WAD, for example, in theory, if he switches in defense mode here with one of the monsters, but switches both in defense. This has me curious.
Yeah, he's got nothing.
I mean, he might have a Sphere Karibo. That's a possibility in theory.
Yeah, Sphere would be really, really, really good. Drill Dark off the top would be really nice for
But even if he...
Leah.
I quite don't understand this move right now with the information we have. Even if he had a Sphere Rebo, I feel like he would keep it in attack maybe. Or like an extra bait, but this looks really strange to me. But okay, maybe he actually has nothing. Maybe that's what's going on here. But then why not attack?
Well, if he leaves them both into attack, then alright. So he's definitely afraid of Wall of D, and if he leaves them both in attack, the Anki's gonna kill both of them because he doesn't have anything. So that's I don't think there's any Sphere Karibo, and he is afraid of Wall of D. So I guess he just doesn't want to take damage. But if he can resolve the familiar next turn and get a search, then he can be in an okay spot. But there is still 2 background.
Yeah, if the top deck here is Drill Dark, that's gonna be really rough. But I feel like if it were Drill Dark, we would probably also see it almost instantly. Then again, these players are playing for a pretty large prize pool right now, so taking your time and carefully weighing out the options is definitely the best way to go here. In the battle phase now, let's see if there's any delays on the attacks here.
Because even if he had Sphere Karibo, he would put in defense mode, but then he'd be in the exact same position, you know what I mean? So
That is also true for sure. I mean, exact same position except the fact that he can now search.
alright, so it's interesting that he set the card because now he is extremely vulnerable to a Vamp thing.
Yeah, Trinade play would be immensely powerful right now as well.
Here, the familiar will get him a body on the board without a normal summon, and he can grab the Vamp. But we might see him go Grace actually.
Yep, does go for
He's
the
going
Vamp.
Vamp. And he also put a Retainer in the grave, which is really, really nice because he can pick up a Domain here, or maybe even a Desires.
Yeah, at this point, the aforementioned TTH though is able to disrupt him a bit more. If there is indeed one of those cards here. Okay, we are seeing the Tribute. Only thing that would save Anki would be Chalice.
Or another Mass Change.
Well, that's
Canadian's
true.
not going to do it.
Yeah.
Well, he can still chain a Mass Change, I suppose, but that probably would be wasting resources. Okay, so he lost his Anki, and he has a Mass Change in his hand.
Yep, Sealed Tombs being activated now. And that was the whole play. His hand must really be something like another kingdom and maybe a domain. Well, kind of hard to say here. Of course, Sealed Tomb's not affecting the Canadia here, but still.
Oh my lord. Alright, so we know he's going to be able to get in there for 2800. And if he has, I don't know, what trap card he'd be able to resolve right now. Mirror Wall, I suppose, yeah, he could do lethal damage.
Yeah, that would exactly be... Well, actually, it would be exactly 1,000 over the necessary life point amount since 2 effects have been paid for. If he has a Chalice face down, he probably would have used it. Oh, whoa.
I guess he definitely saw a creep with delay. That's why he's doing that.
Yeah, playing extremely careful here. Was able to get over that Vamp and search for another Mass Change to go for attack, but apparently not,
yeah, it's
not safe
last
enough.
Anki as well. He's not rocking the mass charges. There's a Samurai Skull. So the middle card is Mass Change, and then we're just curious about the other two. One of them is believed to be a Wall of D, so he's just passing his turn.
This must be one of the safest and slowest Vampire V hero matches that I've seen in a long time, honestly.
He can do 500 past the... No. There's no more matches, so just be 500 attacking the Samurai. Oh, here's the draw, though. The Celestial draw.
It would actually be 600 over 22 here. bring it down to 2400 life points on Gift if he attacks with Anki, but let's see if he dares though. Activate the Decider effect.
Well, he's gonna have to kill the Vamp this turn.
I'm gonna be able to add an Anki back to the extra deck. Might have a... Okay, enemy controller. Goes for the econ take here. Gonna be able to run over that 2000 defense of... Actually opts not to do it like that. Alright. And adds the Decider back instead. He had the option to try and go for a direct attack with...
Wait, why didn't he kill Anki and then...
Yeah, I'm not
Econ
entirely
take?
sure.
He could have attacked Anki into Vamp, Econ take 22 and 18.
Is this it? Maybe he expected a Sphere
22
Critical,
and 16.
but still a slightly strange play. Like, he could have also just opted for 600 more life points. But
honestly, I think he's still in a good spot. Oh, wait, I mean, there might be a Grace coming out. No, oh, okay.
yeah, there's a chance that the Grace is already in the hand as well. Galaxy Cyclone right off the top here. Gonna be
Alright,
really good
this
against
one's-
Vampires, yeah.
This one's over.
Second widespread. Prismatic Gazuki.
He hit him with
no,
the
no.
extended BM.
Well, now we know that there is a... Yep, nothing in the hand to stop this. No hand traps. That's gonna be Liam taking a game back here from Gift. We know that he runs enemy controller and he runs Celestial. So those are his two semi-limited cards here.
Yeah, a lot of people were playing the one Vion, one Celestial, one TT8. It's just when you're playing like an extremely long tournament, you definitely don't want to see that TTH after you resolve some traps. And you have to play at least 6 other traps, so a lot of people, I think, are finally moving away from that build. The balance. One Vion, one Celestial, one TT8.
Yeah, I mean, balance means that you're unlikely to brick, but it also means you're less likely to open those crazy broken hero hands as well, where you just have an OTK, for example, like a monster triple mass change. Oftentimes it's not a good hand, but you never know. Sometimes it works out, and people are ready to gamble for those hands.
Yeah, I know he's not playing balance. I'm saying that people are moving away from the balance.
Yeah, the balance build is not as popular as of late. I feel like I tend to agree. It's quite reliant on the back row as well in general, as a result. Hey, by the way, everybody in chat, Jaravian, GQ, EG Panda. If you're having a great evening here, enjoying that Independence Day of Latvia.
Is it really?
Yeah, it actually is. Yeah, we're going into game 3 here. One of them is gonna get clapped off the table. And looks like we're gonna be seeing Blue Eyes potentially, or alternatively Spellbooks. Check up the sleeves. I mean, we could see a combination of the both, but I feel like Blue Eyes is probably the more likely choice here, and also a good matchup against heroes. Yes, we're independent now. Feels good, man. Yeah, going first as Blue Eyes is always fairly awkward. You prefer to draw into those crazy hands where you have a Silver's Cry, a Spirit of White, and say a Destructotron, or alternatively a Psychic Case to deal with a Decider or something. Oftentimes it's almost decent to just pass if you think your opponent won't OTK you, but against heroes, that's not really an option because one monster plus one mass change is already lethal, so you're most likely going to be seeing that summon here.
The other thing that's that really sucks about this matchup, especially since he's playing enemy controllers like Drill Dark and Econ. He can just like take your Cosmo Brain and kill you with it, so he's got to be really careful here.
Yeah, another fact here.
So it looks like he's picked up Champion's Vigilance.
Yeah, doesn't even need to be Champion's Vigilance. What I wanted to mention is, especially on Seal Tomb's heroes, I think Chalice is still a lot more used. You're more likely to see it in the Seal Tomb's variant, and Cosmo Brain loses her attack boost due to Chalice. So summoning that Blue Eyes White Dragon is a safety move which is often probably kind of required in this matchup. Otherwise, you're risking to get Chaliced on the end phase or during that turn, then Anki'd over. So that was a good move. But at the same time, you're also potentially saying, maybe I have Vigilance, maybe I don't. So it's an extra stress point on your opponent here. Oh, my bad. Cosmo Brain, it. My apologies. I default to Cosmo Queen as the same creature, monster. My apologies for assuming. We're seeing the Seal Tombs off right off the bat here. I would expect a Decider to come out here. Drill Dark Econ. Oh lord, that would be quite unfortunate. But yeah, we are seeing the Decider come onto the field.
I think it's got to be a Deflector.
The phase down, you mean?
He's going into battle. Alright, he's got the Econ boys.
Yeah, Deflector definitely seeing more and more play as of late, especially because of yesterday's results, but let's see what happens.
Alright, actually, it's Mass Change. So what is his face down?
Oh, it does go through here, so not gonna be a Magic Deflector face down. I mean, still not threatening to run over the... Not threatening to run over the Blue Eyes, just goes in for that poke. Goes for the second Mass Change.
This guy is wild. So the set has to be like some revival then. Okay. Oh wow, he's going for the Decider. Interesting. Okay, I guess
Champion's Vigilance does get activated. Yeah. Bit of an awkward position here almost, I would say. If he sent that Decider to the graveyard, would no longer be a problem this turn, but of course Decider's effect was activated, so he would have been able to recycle it. I mean, that one back row card, we have seen Enemy Controller. We have seen Canadia. Have we seen any other back row that would be threatening here at this point?
Canadia is pretty scary here. Widespread also. If he, I guess the left's card is probably like a dragon. Oh, okay, it's a Lila, so he doesn't have to worry.
I mean, we haven't seen any trap cards so far as well, so if in case he is running a single Treacherous, I mean, Treacherous is no longer that same card where it's just, does he have a Treacherous, does he win? But if it pops up, it's still just as powerful, so. But we would probably have seen it activated by now, so. I'm gonna be going in with the Lila here. Pops the Widespread, as you called.
Alright, he's going back to that Decider stall, and he's gonna have to swing into the Lila. Well,
very unfortunate mills here from the Lila.
Yeah, I mean, at least there's a Canadia.
Yeah, Canadia's only good mill. He also milled a Silver Scry and a Birthright. Two revival cards that he would have preferred having, of course, in the hand rather, but as well as having more monsters in the graveyard generally is preferred in this deck, but
luckily for him, Lila won't be able to go into attack position for the next turn, so it's still going to be a Decider stall. He's going to have to swing on his next turn.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, the Lila is probably going to be attacked by Decider. At this point, he might be debating potentially summoning a Drill Dark to go for that Pierce, but opts for the set. Was that the new card, or?
I believe that was the new one.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like most people should be playing Breaker instead of Lila, because in that situation, he would have been able to pop the widespread and then actually crash into the Decider, and he would have been at 800. He would have had the game won basically on this turn, but now it's extended.
I mean, he had no idea what the back row card was though, so obviously that was the safety choice there as well.
Yeah, but if it was Breaker, then he'd be...
oh yeah, if it were Breaker, sure, yeah. That's true. Breaker is definitely very good in these tournament formats, I would agree. For the latter, I'm not entirely sure yet, but he's a good card. He's starting to grow on me. I do feel like he could have been in the game a long time ago, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Lila Mill in this game is kind of crazy because you draw 4 as your opening hand, and she mills 3 cards. Like, that's a crazy amount of cards in this game.
That is true as well, yeah. So Lila is adding extra pressure here. As long as she stays on the field, she's gonna be milling more and more cards. That's an extra timer here. Basically helping the Decider stall tactic here for Liam. Gift milling 3 more cards. A Magic Deflector, another Birthright, and another Lila are milled. Milling all of those extra cards here. That Deflector would have probably be fairly nice here, but actually also opts not to attack the face down. Likely to be a Celestial, potentially enabling a double draw, so... Opts to wait another turn.
Yeah, if it was a new draw, then it'd probably be a Celestial. And then the right card is a Drill Dark.
Yeah, I also thought it was the new draw, but I wasn't entirely sure. So another Decider comes out here. It's like he wasn't able to make both of his Deciders or all of his Deciders prismatic just yet, but this one's shiny. Bought a new suit. Doesn't attack still, I mean, yeah.
That he chooses not to kill the Lila. So she's gonna be able to get another 3 cards out of the... And one of his Deciders is gonna die.
Yeah, I mean, one of those Deciders is gonna die, but at the same time, there's gonna be only 2 cards left in the deck at the end of his turn. Unless this game ends before the end phase, so... Or he gets rid of his own Lila somehow, by econ taking, for example.
Play Breakers, guys.
An enemy controller, plus another monster to summon, say a Luster Dragon, could end this game easy. But looks like there's no Luster Dragons on this deck almost.
Yeah, I'm pretty familiar. Actually, I don't want to say too much, but okay. So, he's gonna be able to do 100 here, but he's gonna be down to 1 card the next time he draws, and he's gonna swing here. Actually, interesting. And it was just a joke.
Yeah, was a bluff. Was mentioning that it could have been a bluff, or maybe I just saw wrong before. Luster Dragon did. Luster Dragon did get milled along with the second Deflector and another normal Blue Eyes White Dragon. So that's, I believe that's the first one. So there's a decent likelihood of him only running 2 Blue Eyes White Dragons, but if not, then one of his 2 remaining cards in the deck is a normal Blue Eyes White Dragon. Also, I don't think we've seen any other Spirits of White, so... Yeah, Strong Fruit Log, I currently do not see any other Spirits of White, so actually, I think we, yeah, we saw he plays 3 of them, he discarded 1, we know exactly what is in his deck. This is not the best of positions, I feel like.
Econ would help a ton. Like, so much to get that Lila off the field. But he has to end the game very quickly now because he's gonna be down to his final card.
Yeah, he's gonna draw a Spirit of White. I know, guys, it's crazy, but that's what's gonna happen. And then he's gonna have 1 more in the deck here.
So both of the last cards are Spirit of White?
Yeah, he hasn't milled any, and he revealed 3. He discarded 1, so...
Alright, here's the Silver Scry. He's about to bring out his
Luster Dragon, yep. Trusty Luster Dragon gonna be able to get rid of that Decider just like Lila can.
So is Econ? Is there? He could have double Econ too. So these two sets might.
Actually, no Econs have been used. So unless he doesn't run them.
I don't know if he's playing Deflector as well. Okay, so here we go.
He was playing 2 Deflectors, yes. So this is almost the final turn. I mean, we're about to see it. Goes in for the attack. Not looking great. Doesn't look like he's going for the finish here at all. Had to get rid of that Lila, or this would have been the last turn he could make. Seal Tombs were used on turn 2, I believe. Yes, turn 2, Liam used his Seal Tombs, so those were already used.
Alright, he better... yeah, there's a Silver Scry. This one looks like it's over for Liam on the final card, too.
Yeah, very slow. I mean, he completed his farm. All he needed was over 3,000 damage as well. Unfortunately, he doesn't get it, but this looks like it's going to be over unless something strange were to happen. But yeah, this is going to be it. Luster Dragon going to be able to destroy that Celestial and then go in for the game with the 2 spirits here. Very tense finish, but Gift actually ends up clutching it out, defeating the second deck Liam brought.
Alright, so let's see who's on their roster. We might see I know a lot of these guys play spellbooks actually, so we could see spellbooks coming in. I don't know if you were watching my game earlier, but I think we had like 2 of our spellbooks decks actually lose to Blue Eyes. It's crazy. So
yep.
Maybe not. Maybe we're gonna see some Buster Blader action.
I mean,
I know you're pretty familiar with that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really that familiar since apparently Dark Paladin doesn't gain defense from dragons. Surprise.
Oh.
But which was a very nasty surprise for me in top 8. But yeah, I mean, Buster Blighter is actually a pretty good deck overall. I feel like it's not impossible to see it, but it definitely depends on how frisky, I guess, Sunclan are feeling here, because
yeah, it's much better when especially in Team Wars, because in side deck format they can just bring in like crazy stuff to counter your strategy, but they can't really, you know, like it's not like other decks are main decking DNA Surgery, so that like makes it a really nice counter.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a great counter deck. The main problem, I guess, is that the most popular build, the one that I've used as well myself, is the balance build, and then you kind of have to fill up those trap slots, and oftentimes you don't really want those other trap cards. Even Treacherous is a bad opener for you, and you also want to go second most of the time, so it's kind of awkward with that deck. But if you set up your board, it's really crazy.
Yeah, I've played another version with the Mirage Dragon. It's like actually crazy, because it's almost like a lock. Like if you have Buster Blader, DNA Surgery, Mirage Dragon, like they just can't do anything.
Yeah, that's definitely also a possibility.
But that's like you need to open like Exodia for that. So, but
yeah, if you open
we
the
could be
Mirage,
seeing
it's unfortunate.
Spellbooks or Buster Blader might be coming out. Even we could even see vampires, but the thing is, it usually comes down to the turn that you vamp whether they have a Blue Eyes White Dragon for their spirit, like to tag out, because then that's what decides the game most of the time. And we know they play Deflector as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So.
I was gonna say Deflector is definitely gonna probably make them think twice before they send in something like the Vampire deck. But at the same time, Deflector does help against the Buster matchup as well, since the Destruction Fusion is a quick play spell card. So, not like this deck is completely defenseless or anything. It does have some amount of ability to answer, even to Buster Blader.
It even has, I mean, I was gonna say that the fusion is once per turn too. So if it gets deflected, it's pretty bad. At least you can add it back though.
Yeah,
That's
you can recycle it. That's true. And so while we're waiting, probably also extend a thank you to all the people who have donated to this prize pool leading up to the finals. Also, the latest donators, Nader, MacDragon VGC, and Sophion, as well as Nifroth.
I know the last guy only.
Damn, what the heck. Thank you for the sub, QWERTY. Or I mean, gifts of Jeravian and QWERTY.
How was our day? I was watching this Hispanic Duel Links streamer last night until like 4 a.m. and then I was like, oh no, I have a game in 6 hours. Then I had to go to sleep. And then I woke up at 7 and I was like, okay, I guess I'm ready to go.
Well, I was playing in a tournament until 3:30 a.m. Then I watched the tourney to the end until 5 a.m. Then I woke up in the middle of the day, got out of the bed like 2 hours later, ate, and played Cuphead on stream. And now I'm here. Look how far I've gotten. Honestly, also, all jokes aside, very honored to have this opportunity to co-cast with PDS.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah, PDS is a pretty cool guy. But yeah, I've had a good day if I just have to answer the question. But yeah, also some deliberation here. So I mean, if they were playing Buster Blader, I think that would have come in pretty much instantly here. I don't think there would be so much conversing. Unless, of course, the second deck might not be that good. But yeah, Hegelian coming in here.
Hegelian boy. He's actually the MVP of Sunclan at the moment. Maybe Darkane can trump him this, but Hegelian's currently 32 and 24.
Whoops, didn't go into the game. No messing around with these people. They're not even using the voice lines, just going in. I'm gonna be seeing Yugi Moto here.
I'm using the voice lines, but you guys can't hear it. It feels bad.
Damn. I mean, you want me to turn them on as well? I only have the English ones though. I believe that was a restart delay we just saw. Yep.
Alright, so there's the spellbook of secrets. I sleep.
Yep. Restart spellbooks going first without restarting, opening up the secrets. That's gonna be annoying to handle. But of course, again, Magic Deflector, the almost perfect anti-meta card in this meta. Helps against so many decks. It helps against Econ, it helps against Mass Change, it helps against Fate, against
Domain.
the Buster Domain, the Buster Fusion, not Takeover but Kingdom. It's a ridiculously good card to play in a lot of decks. Of course, sometimes it's completely dead though. But when it's not dead, it's incredible.
Are we gonna see an SM here? Oh my lord, this guy is crazy. He's got Exodia. He's
Yeah.
not even playing Grandpa's cards.
Yeah, so Fate might be handled, but then you still have to find a way to get rid of the Sound Magician level 8 if it comes to that. So 3500 attack, of course, more than anything that this deck can muster. I'm trying to think back to the melt cards that we saw. We saw pretty much the complete package there, the whole deck before.
Yeah.
Do you remember anything that could have stopped it? Did we see any Canadias? I don't think so.
I don't. No, yes, we did. We did see some.
Oh yeah,
Canadian.
there
I
was
think
at
he's
least
playing
one
a single
Canadian.
copy, a single like 1 or 2 copies of Canadian. So Canadian will definitely help, but he's not playing anything like Drowning. That's actually kind of Monka S because
There's one card, I believe, one or two cards that we didn't get to see. That
the
was
Lila
face down.
basically exposed like his entire deck to his opponent.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate as well. I was gonna say we saw everything and we knew the last card in the deck. I mean, we saw it even drawn, but we knew what it was. So the only card that wasn't known was one of the face downs that didn't get revealed, I think, and I believe there was one card in the hand. So very unfortunate in that sense.
Yeah, Econ is not gonna out level 8, but Canadian does.
Yeah, Econ could an Econ play if you end up beating a negate and then Econ taking a Salt Magician, you do have the possibility to potentially tributing it for Cosmo Brain, for example. So you do need a pretty good board for that case. So
are we gonna see him start banish? No, okay. He
doesn't
just
go for the banish.
Stack his deck. He's digging for them breakers.
Getting another Spellbook of Secrets, this is gonna be really handy for him. Gonna be able to get that second monster on the board, so if Canadia flips a monster face down, he can still perform banishes. That's gonna be extremely nasty as well. I mean, if there was a threat of a drowning, he can also play around that if he decides to do it. So, really good spot. But of course, probably not gonna be wanting to switch that Salt Magician into defense mode here, though. Especially after seeing the mills from the last duel.
He was holding drowning the whole time.
Yeah, if the drowning was held the whole time, though, that would be extremely powerful. Because sometimes, like, letting your opponent know what you have, especially in that case, like, they think they know everything, but they don't know that one card, and that one card is drowning. That would surprise them even more, I feel like. Yeah, he's going to need something to defend himself with. Of course, lethal on the board from Hegelian here. Gift needs some sort of a monster at least. Very unfortunate, of course, because a Fate is already ready to banish cards, so... We definitely, I mean, we can't say definitely, but... Don't expect Treacherous here. I feel like two Canadias are likely to be in this deck. Maybe it was another copy of Magic Deflector that was not exposed if he is actually main decking 3 here.
Yeah, Deflector would be nice, but the Silent Magician is just...
Yeah, it's gonna be a problem because obviously while your monster doesn't get banished, yeah, you still need to take care of the level 8. But if he has that early Canadia, that might be enough. At the same time though, threatening that attack with the Cosmo Brain over the blue boy, saying, well, if this attack doesn't get stopped, you're gonna go down to, that's gonna be 26, so only 1400 life points. It's fairly scary. Especially if you have to crash your Salt Magician then afterwards. That's even worse at that point. Birthright being activated, yeah.
Are we gonna see a Fate as Chain Link too?
I mean, I feel like if a Fate gets hit, he's just gonna be chaining it. He's gonna be ready to wait because... Or you mean like Fate is Chain Link 2 here, yeah? Or did you mean in response to the Birthright?
Yeah, in response to the Birthright. Like to stop the summon, but he's not good. There's a Deflector.
Damn, how are you faster than me? I don't have voice lines on, but the Deflector... Or are you calling it early?
Yes. I don't know. That's weird. Actually, that's happened to me quite a bit before.
Yeah, there's still no deflector on my end. There's a delay here. Or rather, deflector comes out. What the? How did that happen? Are you hacking, Sir PDS?
No.
It just happened for me. But that's gonna be a tribute. He does get the blue eyes out and gets game as a result as well. Very unfortunate. If he had, well, I guess nothing would have changed really.
Yeah, that's a crazy swing. That is going to hurt a lot, actually. I remember I was saying that Silent Magician doesn't always beat Blue Eyes, because now we could see Hegelion's second deck as like heroes, and then Blue Eyes has a pretty good matchup versus heroes.
Yeah,
And
but at the
then-
same time, Blue Eyes doesn't always beat heroes, so...
Yes, that's true, but it does have a favorable matchup. Hopefully, well, I don't know what his other deck would be, because you want the spellbooks to move. So let's just hope it's not something that auto loses to Blue Eyes.
It could also be a Blue Eyes of his own, I mean, not completely out of the question, and then that could go into a coin flip almost.
We might see them be too afraid to try the newer decks like Buster Bladers or Boojins, where it looks like we're going to see either Balance or Destiny Draw. So let's see which one it is.
Looks like 21 cards. I was gonna say it looks like a thick deck, but just almost underside, but looks like Destiny Draw.
It's going to be playing Destiny Draw
Vampires.
Yep. Or he could be playing Destiny Draw Boojins, but probably Vampires. Yeah, the deflectors are really disgusting versus the
Majority
hero.
of the decks, honestly.
Yeah, if this Blue Eyes, well, he's not playing Water Spirit, right? We didn't see that at all.
No, I believe he is not playing
No.
Water Spirit.
He's not gonna have that. If you can sit on Azure Eyes, it's really, really good versus heroes, because you can just poke forever, and they have to use all their traps to... Well, the thing is, so you swing, and with like a spirit, and then they have to use a trap, but when you summon it in the standby phase, you kill one of their traps, so you're going like 2 for 1 on every time you attack. It's crazy. But he doesn't have that choice, it looks like, so it's still a pretty good matchup just because 3000 is bigger than 28.
Wait, why are you talking about heroes right now, though? So about the matchup.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it could be heroes, Kappa.
Wait, are you actually ahead again?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Nah, I'm just kidding. It's that he hasn't even played a single card.
Okay, same. That's quite strange, though. Are you playing with voice lines on as well?
No, I turned them off.
Oh.
He's just sitting there right now.
Yeah.
Just like me, I'm just sitting at my closet.
Yep, I'm sitting here as well in my chair with my cat in my lap. Sleeping here as well.
He's going for the classic, what? Double set pass. Alright, hit him with the zing. Are you ahead or are you behind still?
No, he did set the 2. We're fine, I think.
Okay. Alright, so we're probably going to see an end phase spirit. Or Silver's Cry into spirit. Or
Birthright
into-
him. Oh, actually didn't happen though. So I feel like there's at least one magic deflector there for sure. If not even 2. And that is really, really rough in this matchup. What the? Big Daddy calling me a villain, not like this. Birthright was phased out. Very, perplexing choice there. I feel like I probably would have banished before, but
Maybe he was waiting to see if he drew a spirit, so he
Yeah.
could tribute spirit for spirit.
there's a possibility, of course, but it's not like he couldn't do it if he drew it, or if he had banished before, right?
Yeah, I guess it's, that's true. Maybe he was afraid of waking the dragon. Alright, so we see 6100 on the board. Are we going to see a drowning? Or maybe a Canada? There's 3k to the face. Alright, he was waiting to get that D drop. We're gonna see
Sphere
nice
coming out
Sphere.
here, yeah.
So we could see he can at least still pay for one effect, so we might see a true nade come out, but if there's a deflector set, it's gonna be so rough for him.
Yeah, it's really hard already because he has no graveyard setup. All he has is a Sphere Rebo, which of course would be set up for a relinquish ritual or something, right? But in before relinquished control. But yeah, that's gonna be a tough one here. Domain face down before, so he actually sniped the card that was the defensive one and not the bluff card. Also relinquished, looking a lot less likely now, guys.
How does he out this?
I mean, okay, let's see. If he trades, he still has 2 cards, so let's say he has a Samurai Skull. Okay,
Oof.
he doesn't out this. It's over.
Yeah, this one's done.
But the
He
only
can't
way
even-
he could have would have been a Tornade into Samurai Skull and having a Vamp in the hand already. So he needed like a Sam Skull or a Gozuki, a Vamp, and a Tornade here after the top deck. So, I mean, he could still have a back row card. It's not completely lost, but it's looking really, really, really bad at this point. If he runs like 2 walls of disruption in this deck and opted not to set one of them before, then now is the time to set both of them. That's pretty much the only out, I feel like, from the side of Hegelian at this point.
Yeah, I
Activates
can't
the
do much
Tornado.
right now.
Yeah, he's just gonna be summoning it. He can't even activate the effect with the 500 life points left here. I mean, could summon it in attack to look a bit threatening, but not looking good at all. Had a Grace in the hand. Okay, well, alternatively, he could have also, I guess, summoned the Grace, and if he had the field spell... If he had the field spell plus the Grace, he could have normal summoned Paid and activated the Grace effect. And activated field spell effect, popped the white, but then still like 2 face downs. Not looking very good.
Yeah, he's gonna kill him this turn, basically.
Yep, even if he has a Circular Bow, there's no comeback at this point. Not with that hand, and that's gonna be Gift taking yet another life. Gift going on a run with these Blue Eyes deck right now. Crazy.
Yeah, Gift is a clapper.
Very unfortunate for the Sunclan as well, sending in a counter deck and then getting
Yeah,
countered
so
by that deflector there.
at this point, they're either doing the same thing that we did earlier and forget that you brought Buster Blader, or they did not bring Buster. So, like, I don't know. I feel like this build with the Deflector and the Luster Dragon is so annoying to try and beat with Vampires. And also trying to beat with Heroes, just because those 2 cards are extremely good in both matchups.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those super hard matchups.
If you don't have Takeover, then you can just poke all the little zombie guys with the Luster. I mean, not the vampire guys. Like, well, obviously those guys, and also Gozuki and Samurai Skull, because they're only at.
But yeah, they still have some time to decide. I mean, there is a chance that they left Buster Blader potentially trying to hide it, like sending a counter deck in the spellbooks and keeping the Buster Blader hidden, because I feel like there's a pretty good likelihood of Bricks actually playing multiple Blue Eyes White Dragon decks. I mean, it's a really good deck in general. It's also usually able to get those quick wins. It's not too straining on the player usually mentally, because I mean you can only do as many plays as your hand allows you to. So it's an all-around good deck to play. But yeah, let's see. In that case, I would expect a quick Buster Blader at this point, but all we can do is speculate for now. Yeah, while we're waiting here.
Yeah, so actually this is not the best performance by Hegelian, but his team's about to put him on their backs. And Gift is usually a big clapper for Bricks and Pit. In the last 2 playoffs games, he's gone 3-1 to close out that game, and 5-2 versus Forbidden Memories. So over 50% of the wins were from Gift. And Hegelian actually has gone 7-1 versus Bless RNG in the playoffs, 4-2 versus Pharaohs, and then 1-2 versus Creeping Death. But
we're seeing Dark King coming out here, a Japanese player, known also, of course, as a very skilled player, and I believe commonly a spellbook player.
Yeah, he's playing Pandora, so usually he's playing Restart on Pandora, or in the past he's played I forget the name of the skill that adds a
Show of Nightmares?
spell. It's kind of like, yeah, Show of Nightmares. But it looks like it's going to be Restart from the...
Yeah, it does appear that it's Restart. We are hearing that nice Arcana theme finally.
So they're trying a second shot at this matchup.
Yeah, 21 card Restart spellbook deck.
But this confirms no Buster Blader in the lineup.
Yeah, I feel like at this point you probably don't risk it anymore. You're like, okay, well, we tried to hide a Buster Blader potentially, which would have been already a pretty risky move as is, but then if it happens once, then shame on you. It happens twice,
yeah,
you better not be doing it.
This is a deck that's like... but the Blue Eyes deck can really like, if the Sound Magician can't stop the Blue Eyes deck, it's just going to destroy everything. So you have to play at least 1 or 2 Buster Bladers in your lineup. You need something to just stop it, like, because right now it's doing what it does best.
Yeah, I feel like the only out for this deck, for this build rather, we haven't seen any Psychic Aces or anything like that, so literally his only defense is the Magic Deflector. If he doesn't get to Magic Deflector, the fusion, it's over. Like, there's nothing he can do at that point. So a Buster Blader would destroy this this game. Before
so,
this is a Restart Buster Blader.
So right here you usually
yeah, we are
usually not too prone to using the Cosmo Brain effect, but because he had to discard the Luster Dragon, it was an extremely small Cosmo Brain. So he could either have Champion's Vigilance, or he just needed to get it off the field for a Blue Eyes. So a lot of people actually cut the Crescent for an additional trap card in the deck, but Dark King's still deciding to play.
Yeah, there's a couple of tech choices in place of the library. You could run a Breaker, for example, or a Magical, something especially popular with the skill that you mentioned before, the Show of Nightmares.
Show of Nightmares, yeah. They also like to play Zing or 2 TTH.
Yeah,
so
Zing Zanhu definitely also a really good tech card, for sure. Might have been a delay of either an actual delay of Vigilance potentially, which I kind of doubt, or maybe trying to threaten a Vigilance without having it. I mean, if he has a Vigilance, I would probably just use it on the blue boy here. just to prevent that summon and be done with it, pretty much. That should almost end the game instantly if he has Vigilance, which is yet another actually out for this deck, I guess. If you get that turn 1 Vigilance set up, and especially if you have a Revival card, that's pretty much over. Unless there's like a Drowning Mirror first or something.
Yeah, if you can negate this Blue Boy summon too, is so devastating. They really need that spellcaster on the field. Alright, let's see. He's gonna set here. Okay, very interesting.
So might be playing around the aforementioned possibility of a Champion's Vigilance on the Blue Boy. Of course, the flip effect will still give him an extra card, will protect his life points more as well. Quite the tough spot to be in, though.
Yeah, we know the Lesser Dragon's in the grave, so he can still do 3,000 at least. But I don't think that Gift has to be afraid of the back row. At worst, the only thing it would be is something like a treachery. But it's probably just organization and something else, because he didn't pick up the organization with Crescent. Alright, so he's going in for no damage, but he's gonna kill the Blue Boy. Maybe it's actually
Snowman Eater.
yeah, Snowman Eater.
I mean, a Man-Eater bug tech choice, it's not completely impossible, right? Activates the Zinzan Hu, the prismatic one, at that. Gonna be threatening to lock down these 2 cards. I feel like at least one of them is activatable, though. Let's see if it happens. If there's a Canadia, which is admittedly one of his few outs to both get locked down. So if he can get out a Silent Magician at this point, that could be extremely devastating.
Yeah, he's actually in a pretty decent spot now. No organization though, so maybe he actually already had the Silent Magician in his hand, but he was just being... Alright, so there's a Masters.
Yep, that means...
So he could be playing 2 Masters, or he didn't pick it up with the Crest.
Yeah, hard to say, of course, without having all the full hand knowledge here, but gonna be able to loop everything. Probably gonna add either Eternity or another Blue Boy here for a follow-up play for the next turn. Or, well, depending on this hand, I guess with 4 cards, he would be at 325.
Well, if he does SM, he'll be at 3 cards, right?
Yeah.
So that put him at 25.
With power, yeah, with power he could crash exactly without taking any damage, getting a card for the next turn, and also go for 3,500, but goes for the Fate instead. Actually opts to Fate right away here as well. Obviously just gonna be the Blue Eyes White Dragon being fated here, not also summonable, also not summonable anymore. The turn revealed from the back row, gonna be able to recycle some cards here. Actually curiously opted to go for the secrets, because usually people do prefer taking back the master if you can afford to loop the cards. That's just an extra card in your graveyard for free, basically, since you just copy the Eternity and then grab the secrets with the copied Eternity.
Yeah, that was a really nice bluff by Dark King. It wasn't even organization. He just had the one. Okay, so he's gonna set a card. Oh man. Alright, so at this point, a TTH isn't gonna help him. And he's dead to Blue Boy and Powers, so I think this is gonna be it.
I mean, the only card he has on his deck is Canadia. He doesn't even have TTH as far as we know.
Yeah. So yeah. Even he's dead to just Powers on a Blue Boy. So.
Yeah, really huge swing from that Zinzan Hu, being able to lock down both of those cards. I feel like there is a really high chance that there was a Vigilance also face down, but he just didn't want to waste it, and was hoping to be able to summon a Spirit maybe. But then again, I'm not sure. Like, he had nothing in the graveyard for that, so maybe it wasn't actually anything like that. Maybe it was just a Revival card. and he didn't want to summon a Luster Dragon or whatever. Yeah, I guess might have not been Vigilance. Would have been really, really greedy. So we're gonna be seeing the banish here on the face down. Yep. Hits a Silver Scry here, wasn't even able to do anything. Second Saw Magician comes out, that's gonna be game, nothing you can do at this point. 2000 attack. Dark King grabbing the game here, finally getting a point back for his team.
The unfortunate thing is that we know, well, Bricks and Potatoes is known for their creative banish control deck, so we might be seeing it come in here because they're actually having, I think, yeah, Gift was their very first player actually, so
Yeah.
I think we might be seeing well, it doesn't really matter too much what I predict, but I think Oyen might be coming in here with his stall.
Yeah, Eugen, I mean, he has been playing all sorts of Amazonas variants, I guess, also over the last couple of weeks still, so...
yeah, usually he brings in the classic stall vampire comp.
But yeah, let's see. I mean, there's many option here. Anything with sealed tombs is also fairly proficient if you can OTK fast, for example, setup. That's always an option on top of it if they don't get that Saw Magician. If they get the Saw Magician, of course, it's a lot tougher. But yeah, I feel like you hit the nail right on the head there, and we're most likely going to see a deck that's known as Banish Control right now.
Also, we got to give a shout out to Taichi, because it's actually, well, Taichi and Dark King, because when this game started, it was 5 a.m. in Japan. Like, that's crazy to be up that early for a Team Wars game. Well, it is the finals, right? So
yeah, we're seeing Shiny Sophion come in here. And coming in with that Luna, I believe in English she's called, so...
Luna with that holy urn.
Yeah.
I need to get that on Luna.
With the new sleeves as well.
Oh wow, those are really nice. I didn't even know those were in the game.
Yeah, if only they didn't have the logo, huh?
They actually look nice with the series logo. Like, they don't have the big fat Duel Links logo on them. It's just like,
I mean, the Duel Links logo kind of blends in the background there. But yeah.
nice job, Konami. This is almost a playable mat.
Oh, you mean the mat? Oh yeah, actually
Yeah.
the mat, I didn't even realize. Wait, you're right. Yeah, I thought you were talking about the sleeves. They do have the Duel Links logo on them, but this one has Duel Links on like the combined side there. But yeah, we're seeing Dark King open up without needing to restart again here. Opening up with another Blue Boy here, and most likely even a Saw Magician. I mean, doesn't necessarily need it. This matchup is definitely winnable for him. Going first is also really, really good if he has that Zinzanhua. That could definitely swing the game in his favor quite a bit, locking down 2 backer slots, but...
The first thing is that the stall player needs to not have the Amazonas part. And then also, if they do have it, then they need to have many monsters in their hands. And if they... Okay, let's see how many sets they have. Alright, 2. Are we going to see triple set? No. Doesn't look like it. Okay, so Zing would be ridiculous here. But it looks like it's going to be Oregon Fate. Or we could just see a Bluff and the Zing as well.
Yeah, I feel like Zing would definitely be amazing. Was deciding on the 3rd set here. Opted to go for the right card.
Other card is probably another trap card.
Whereas DDA sound still annoying because usually no more than 4 summonable, oftentimes only 3 summonable monsters for the side of spellbooks, so once those are gone, you can't summon anything anymore. You're gonna be seeing the fate on the monster most likely, but since there were only two cards, he's gonna fate his own monster to flip it face down, prevent the damage, as well as get that extra card from the deck here with the Eternity. Gonna be able to recycle one of those. I mean, I would expect it to be Master, but we'll see. And he did open Zing again, and probably gonna be locking down that card that took longer deliberation. And then it's kind of hard though, right? Because there was a card that you wanted to set but you weren't sure what to set, and then those two cards you were like, okay, I'm definitely setting these. So
Yeah.
which do you go for even at that point? It's pretty rough. I think the only read you can get off of that is you're expecting that at least one of those is most likely gonna be usable instantly to like clear up fast. Or maybe not instantly, but not gonna be like a continuous card backline. But yeah, it does grab the Master here. Extra card basically in the graveyard for free this time around. And gonna be copying the Eternity, grabbing Deck the Secrets, standard spellbook plays here. Also able to banish the DD Assailant at this point. Now imagine if he also ran Zinzanhu Replica or a second Zinzanhu. But Replica would be even more amazing here at this point.
From Kyoko.
Yeah, Gyoku also a card that has been played in spellbooks for sure. So
Alright, so it gets Fate. Obviously, he's gonna want to get rid of the Assailant here, though. Alright, here comes the Fate.
middle card still not locked though, so a lot of threatening cards. The Widespread Druin, definitely threatening. Drowning Mirror Force, definitely hard to deal with. Or, well, really annoying to deal with, especially after you tribute a blue boy. If that happens, you'd lose that extra summonable monster. And that does happen, so only one to two more summonable monsters for all we know. Nothing gets activated though.
Really, really huge, because now, if there is something in the battles, or something that's on attack declaration, and they put a monster in the field, Dark King can wait till the battle step and then fate the monster and then just kill them. Hopefully they have a nice answer for this Silent Magician. Alright, there's another Assailant.
Yeah, very unfortunate. I mean, that's you don't want to see that. You don't get that Silent Magician effect as a result. He can only summon one more monster. There was no activation on the middle card though, so there is a chance that if he has another Silent Magician, this could be it.
This is the last blue boy as well.
But otherwise, this is looking really, really rough for Dark King as the spellbook player here. Alternatively, he might be able to also double power the blue boy. That's also an option in theory. Let's see if he braves to go in as well here with that.
Well, he can see like the delays and stuff. So if he goes powers, masters, copy powers, fate, that would be, he would have to do it like that.
He is going
Okay,
for
I think
the
that's
yeah.
So he sees the delays. It's probably like a battle trap then. Okay. If it's Canadia, that'd be devastating.
Yep. Does have
Yeah,
the fate here.
You have to do it in this order because of the like if you fate too early, then you really, really mess up the you won't be able to masters. So this is perfect. All right, let's see. If this middle card is nothing, then he just stole this game.
Was a
Oh my goodness.
Sakuretsu armor. Gonna need a Karibo to oh, no Karibo. That's just gonna be Dark King with that Zinzanhu Steel once again. Outing the supposed almost counter deck, I guess. I mean, would you call it a straight up counter deck for spellbooks?
Yeah, it's definitely the spellbook destroyer. Hopefully, Shiny has her second deck as something that doesn't lose to spellbook. Something with sealed tombs, ideally. The music changed for like 2 seconds. and
Yeah,
then it came-
we didn't get to hear that nice 5D soundtrack. I mean, very unfortunate, but I mean, Darking was rushing there. It's early for him. He has all the adrenaline, I guess, of having woken up early and doing some Tai Chi Kappa. Alright, Shiny coming in with that quote, "I'll do my best." First person to use the new quote system, new added quotes now as well. I think it's kind of cool though, since they're probably translated, right? So you can kind of communicate with your opponent if they speak their language and they're using their language client, so it's kind of nice in that sense.
What did Gift clap with?
Mostly Blue Eyes.
Yeah, he went on a tear with Blue Eyes. The God deck.
Well, I would say almost was Magic Deflector featuring Blue Eyes.
Yeah, it's the God deck next to the other God deck, which is Buster Blade.
Yeah, but
It's like the second best deck.
Yep, pretty much. We are seeing Ishizu here, so most likely gonna be Sealed Tombs. Going second though, so Darking going first once again. And not restarting once again, so very lucky starts here for him. One of the few decks that prefers going first, and he's getting those good hands. I mean, Sealed Tombs, Gladiator Beasts could be a pretty good deck to play here. I mean, just open something, Sealed Tombs, run over the blue boy, destroy back row, set up some spicy back row of your own. That's a possibility. But I feel like Gladiators are probably not going to be featured here. They're kind of a pretty situational deck. But yeah, looks
Gladiators are pretty good versus spellbooks though. Like if you can completely counter their Silent Magician turn. Like you just go Mermello, or you go Seal Tombs, swing Mermello to level 8. Like it's
yeah, it's definitely really good if she's low enough to run over. If not, then it becomes a pretty annoying problem. Of course, you do run cards like Canadian and Floodgates, etc., which are answers. But yeah, gonna be a standard setup with Fate here. The question is, does he have the Zing again? Does he have a Silent Magician again? What exactly does he have? That's gonna decide everything, basically. But yeah, very, very strong starts here from Dark King. This time around, no Silent Magician. So 2 sets. And passing the turn here.
yeah. So Sealed Tombs is gonna be devastating.
Yeah. Did add the organization, so we're pretty safe in assuming that it's probably organization and Fate here unless he's pulling major mind games.
So let's see. Dark King is actually one of the. He's the second key player for Sun. 30 and 16. So he's played at least 8 games, but 30 is actually a ridiculous score in Team Wars. So we're gonna see a Fate immediately on the Drill Dark. And that's pretty ideal, honestly. Because they won't be able to chain Mass Change or bring out another hero.
I mean, they
So
can
we
chain
see-
it, but they don't want to, definitely.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they can definitely chain it. Alright, no Zing. That would have just been too godly. Now he's going to be able to do more spellbook shenanigans.
I mean, while he does his public shenanigans, you were mentioning the Dark King being the second key player here with 30 wins. In perspective, the key players for Bricks and Potatoes, being Gift and Eugen, both have only 23 wins. So definitely very, very heavy load on both Hegelian Boy and Dark King through the season, who were getting those crazy wins. Though at the same time, the difference is probably related to the fact that the season record for Sunclan was 9-3, so they had more overall victories versus Bricks and Potatoes, who only got those 6 wins during the season, and just barely clutched it out. Got in at the almost the last moment. I think it was pretty much the last moment, yeah, with that wildcard spot, unless I'm somehow mistaken, and now they're here in the finals.
I think they were the third wildcard slot, and then Forbidden Memories was the fourth, and then both of us actually made it pretty far. All right, so we're gonna see secrets added to the hand from Masters. Yeah, and obviously no mass change, so the turn you seal tombs is basically the turn you want to kill them, because for now 500 pokes is nothing to be scared about. Also, she could be playing like Drowning Mirror Force, so that's also something to consider.
Yeah, Drowning Mirror Force, the new TTH almost. That's a really, really big play there. Whenever it goes off, it usually changes the swing of the game completely, unless it's like a last resort card, and then you can kind of play around it. Yeah, I believe Shiny is a turtle as well, EJ Panda, true. But playing around a possible Drowning Mirror Force here even looks like...
Yeah, there's also that to consider, that a lot of teams were popping off the first couple of weeks because of the onslaught of the furries.
Yeah, Bricks and Potatoes definitely not among those teams. They started as one of the teams with some harsh losses against for hires, but I mean later on they definitely picked things up quite a bit.
Yeah, the first 3 weeks were extremely brutal. But anyways, here we are already at the finals. We see a blue boy poking for 500, and she's gonna take that because it's gonna take a long time for this blue boy to kill her, so she has a lot of time to pick up the mass change.
I mean, at this pace, it's 7 more turns, so that's half her deck pretty much. But, I mean, it's 7 more turns at this pace, but there's a decent likelihood of a third blue boy coming out here, or even a Sun Magician, speeding things up. So, Sun Magician coming out is definitely a huge problem for this deck, since that Spell Negate is very nasty if you're playing a deck that relies on resolving a spell card to get your boss monster out here. Of course, Chalice could also be a key card. Where are the Boojans at? I mean, we haven't seen them yet, Mordecai, but maybe somebody is playing them.
If anybody's playing them, it's gotta be King Swag Body. Shiny is transforming into Black Jesus right now. Alright, so no Seal Tombs. Interesting stuff here. We're gonna see swing for 16 on the attack position blue boy.
I mean
let's see if it's 11. Met with a swinging 16 into 500. So okay. Yeah, it'll do 11.
Damn, quick maths.
Organization. He's digging for that SM.
Yeah, definitely wants to get that Sun Magician. I mean, there could be a couple of cards that at least stall it out a bit more, like Floodgate or Canadia, if a Saw Magician does come out, and then on top of that, of course, extra risk cards for the Saw Magician would be Widespread Ruins and Drowning Mirror Forces. You are seeing the Banish here, so let's see if it's a back row card or if the Celestial. For Celestial, one of the cards you don't want to see in the graveyard, in your opponent's graveyard, since it does enable that drop power, speeding up their chances of getting their combo here. Saw Magician does come out. I don't know, I feel like Shany's still in a pretty good spot, where, well, she looks like in a somewhat safe spot, in the sense that I don't know, I feel like there's a Drowning Mirror first in this deck.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't know, I guess in this situation, would you put the Saw Magician in defense?
Depends on the back row. I mean, if you have the Fate, I feel like you probably would, but at least to read delays. But if he has a read on the delays and he feels safe, then maybe you don't do it. Wall of Disruption, the old school Drowning Mirror first, which doesn't send anything away. Still does prevent all the damage taken, so Stall Heroes added again here. Swing it in to get an idea of the delays still. Didn't see any major ones though, but might have been a blink or two, so...
He can set his Silent Magician to reset the attack, but that's a pretty huge cost to use your Fate on that. So maybe he should have waited for the Zing, but who knows how many copies.
I mean, even if he's playing 2 copies of Zing, it's kind of rough, right, to wait against heroes, but having the Saw Magician, you are in a safer position, so... No more summons, so... There's also a possibility that Shany's not gonna get a monster for a couple of turns, so that could be huge here.
Yeah, that happened to Edu earlier. He didn't draw a single monster for like, actually the whole duration of the duel, but it was something like 8 turns. It was crazy. So we're seeing a Fate for, oh yeah, so Fate for 2 on the SM, resetting the attack. Are we going to see the Drowning this time?
I mean, even another Wall of Disruption would be quite annoying to deal with.
The second WAD.
That one was there the whole time as well. I feel like, yeah, it's kind of rough. You definitely want that. You want that Zinzanhu to lock down the back row here, because looks like there's a lot of cards that are. Yeah, there's a lot of cards that are gonna be able to stall this game out, and I mean, technically, deck out is also a viable win condition in this matchup. There's only so many times you can Fate with this deck. I believe it's 5 times, depending on the as a maximum, depending on the ratios in your deck. So after those Fates or all those resources are banished, you can't really out anything anymore. You can only attack like once, twice. If it's not enough to go for lethal in time, that's a big problem. And the turns are moving along swiftly here, so power being drawn. Setting that Saw Magician in defense mode as well. Oof. Only 5 cards left. Yeah, Zing would be the answer at this point.
I think it's too late for Zing. Like at this point...
I mean, I feel like Zing is like the only chance, rather, at this point. Yeah, without Zing, it's gonna be really hard. Galaxy Cyclone coming out, that's probably gonna get negated, but let's see. Depends, of course, on the value of the face down. Was a treacherous trap hole. So now, even if a Zinzanhu were to come out, it would only last for 1 turn. And yeah, now I would say now it's officially too late for Zing.
Yeah, because of the Cyclone going to the grave. It's like super insurance.
Yeah, four more turns here from Dark King. If he can't muster an offensive here, I mean, when he does get a Zing, he will get, if he lives that far into the future, he would be able to go in for one turn, right, with that Zing, but Seal Tombs are being used here this turn. We are seeing the Geodart come out, so that's going to be potentially 600 pierced through the Silent Magician, or alternatively 12 through the Blue Boy, and then we'll see, I guess. I feel like a mass change is definitely very likely here at this point. Goes for the 12 here. 1700 life points left, so an Anki direct attack is not quite lethal. Summoning the Silent Magician. If there are actually magic deflectors in this deck as well, then this could be over, I think. Not gonna be any outs for the decider at this point. Other than flipping him face down, right? But then you lose a turn still by attacking him. It's kind of funny. It feels like a lot of decks almost are... a lot of decks are basically becoming stall decks at this point because they end up running so many trap cards. End-phase Canadia. Yeah, this is looking like game here from the side of Shiny Sophion. Doesn't even dare attacking. The risk of Mirror Wall and other things is pretty huge here, but with 2 cards left in the deck, was not looking good. 600 more pierce, no response. That's gonna be game.
Alright, so we're gonna have to go into Dark King's second deck. What do you think he's about to whip out?
I mean, I feel like the most popular decks in Japan probably, from what I've seen, for Japanese players rather, that I've seen internationally, have been Blue Eyes and Vampires and Spellbooks. So I probably expect one of those, but at the same time, of course, Team Wars is different, as in a lot of teams usually like converse about what they want to bring here. So I don't know. I feel like Blue Eyes is likely to be seen here with this deck.
I think we're gonna see some vampire action.
You're feeling the vampires, alright. Shani able to grab that 1 point back, so it's 5-3 right now. Not quite the middle point potential. Well, it depends really how this war keeps on going, but yeah, we're slowly approaching the end of this season of Team Wars. Oh, I feel like they're already in the game, looks like, yeah. That was a quick spectate. An interesting change. Well, I don't know if interesting is the correct word. We're seeing Luna here, so actually might be neither here. I'm gonna be also going second here. Yeah,
Holy Guard, what the...
So,
damn, he brought in some bangers too.
yeah, this song definitely very good. I mean, there's a couple of possibilities, but the Banish Control deck seems to be the most likely, right? Alternatively, I guess, Gladiator Beast with Holy Guard. Well, let's wait and see.
So it's actually really, really good if it's that, because it has a pretty good hero matchup. Alright, so it looks like it's that. It's busting out the wind-up juggler.
Yeah, I mean, it could be just a straight-up wind-up deck, right? Well, not really. That one's highly cheese dependent, so I don't think that's gonna be it here this time around. But yeah, we didn't get to see any grenades thus far. We didn't get to see any back row hate other than Galaxy so far. But at the same time, Shani didn't really use many cards on that duel, so it's hard to say what she has there. We did know she played Canadias, so, or at least one copy of it, so no new intel gain, 2 back rows set, and now also a juggler set with that 1000 defense here.
Yeah, it's really annoying, the juggler, because even when it's in defense mode, it says after damage calculations. It still gets that destruction effect.
I mean, it's not as bad as DDS sounding against heroes because of those defense values on top of everything, but it's definitely an annoying card. No question about that. Yeah, bit of a deliberation here. I mean, you have to somehow get rid of the monsters. Here's the thing though, that's gonna be a destruction. So as a result, the Decider is gonna be able to bring himself back unless his attack gets stopped, but
the only reason I could see why they did the juggler is there's a trap like Zing that can be chained to bring out the Canadian. Or maybe just because the Canada trades very well with the juggler because it only has 1,000 defense, and the juggler won't be able to destroy the Canada because it's unaffected by monster effect.
Yeah, we're seeing a Cosmic Cyclone here in this deck as well, so hard to, of course, know intel on the ratios, but so far we know at least one Galaxy 1 Cosmic Cyclone, so able to banish back row as well. No recycling like in an ETH deck, but still, back row removal against a banish control deck is definitely really welcome here. You're seeing a delay. I mean, yeah, the Caladia is definitely nice insurance because if a trap card is activated to prevent the kill here, Canadia is going to be able to run over the juggler, and of course it is immune to monster effects, so basically makes it a monster with no effect. Mirror Wall is activated though, so actually a case where Canadia is not gonna, one, be able to run over that 1,000 defense, and two, not gonna be able to summon.
Yeah, it's gonna be a game because they have two cards in their hand, so they definitely have another monster. So
yep. I mean,
just, 34 to the face.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, there's a chance there's a Witch Raider or two in the hand, but probably not the case here, so not looking good at all for Shiny Sophian right now.
And then the
summons
the mirror wall is in a damage step as well, so it couldn't activate Canada.
Yep, exactly. If it weren't the damage step, then Canadia would be able to activate, but since it's just a normal trap, it's unable to keep up with that spell, with that activation. But yeah, Dark King taking another win here. Yeah, that was Shiny Sophia on second deck, so almost equaling the score out. Now it's 5-4 at this point. I mean, we're back at the point of what exactly do you want to send in? What deck do you have that actually goes well against the Spanish control deck? I mean, something with a lot of back row hate, hopefully.
I think that the Vampire is pretty good. Mill is actually amazing versus this deck, but we're not gonna.
Or alternatively, something that can stall for longer. That's also a possibility.
Yeah. Something with, like, I don't know, Wad. Wad is very good versus this deck if you can, like, make them go aggressive.
Sao is also calling for UA. I mean, depending on the build, UA could be pretty good, yeah, for sure.
Because of the or Ancient Gears is actually amazing versus.
Okay, Ancient Gears, I think you're fishing, or you're reaching a bit too far there.
Do you know what Beast does?
Yeah, Beast is really good, yeah.
This deck. But Dreadnought Dunker is amazing versus this deck too. You're getting those because if you have midfielder stadium, they just literally can't.
I mean, Dreadnought is amazing. We're seeing Oigan coming in here. I mean, it might be a mirror match here almost at this point.
Yeah, mirror or vampires is coming out.
judging by the Ishizu, I mean, I would reckon that it's probably vampires, but let's see.
Yeah, 21 cards. It's all adding.
But we still get that banger of a song here.
Yeah, I was getting a little tired at the Ishizu song.
Yeah, kind of subconsciously almost rooting for, not even for Dark King, but for Luna specifically. But we are seeing the vampires here.
It's a pretty inappropriate song to be playing for this deck. What the? This man's busting out the gold sarcophagus.
Yeah, we're about to get some insight on the text here, probably.
Oh my lord, he's going for that Amazonas. This is really smart because the Amazonas portion of this deck is amazing versus him. But the thing is there's a little slight tiny chance that he's gonna die before he gets to this princess.
Yeah,
but let's
highly
see what
dependent on the back row. I mean, we did see Mirror Wall, so that's a card that Trinate doesn't automatically out, but of course Vampires kind of reminiscent of for hires being able to Trinate and then pop the card, but it depends really on everything else as well here. Everything else being used, I mean. But yeah, Trinade would be ridiculously good at this point, obviously.
Yeah, it'd be over.
I mean, multiple mirror walls, I guess, could kind of save you. If you pop the mirror wall, do you even need to pop the mirror wall? You would need to reach 8,000 attack, which you can't with vampires, so I guess you do pop the mirror wall, and then if you have Trinade does come out. So I guess let's see if there's any response here.
Hit him with the magic train.
Or you can opening up with that God Hand. We are seeing the mirror wall. Are we seeing multiples, or are we seeing only one here? Or are we seeing anything else?
Well, the thing that really sucks is that the Samurai Skull, if it crashes into a DD assailant, it's going to be able to summon a Gozuki for game, so it's pretty safe for him to kill the Mirror Wall.
Yeah, I mean, he would need something really non-standard at this point to out it, like a man-eater bug or something.
The
to pop.
best case scenario is that the face down is a wind up soul. Because if it's anything else, then it's just over. Because it's just gonna get banished.
I mean, he's gonna be able to summon another monster anyways, and threaten lethal here. So it doesn't even matter if Samurai Skull's effect goes off here at this point. It's more so about like being able to get rid of that Grace here with something else.
Wait a minute,
But that's
are we gonna see double Grace here?
Yeah, looks like we're seeing double Grace here at this point.
He's already dead. Have some mercy, please.
Yeah, this is gonna be game on turn 3, looks like. Classic double Vampire Kingdom activation. Trinade into two Kingdom procs is ridiculously strong, obviously. But this was the... Oh, Cole's spell card.
Wait.
No spells in the deck.
It's probably just BM, because like I said, the Gozuki thing. But okay, let's see what happens.
I mean...
Skill Manager would be Monka S.
Well, I mean, so many, yeah, that would be true, but
Okay.
not the case. DD Silent, not gonna matter. Still, kind of, I don't know. That was a choice, but either way, this is still going to be game. We're gonna be taking that W over Dark King, and establishing once again a 2-point lead here for Bricks and Potatoes.
Yeah, that was definitely BM. There's no way he would do that. So we're, what is it, 6-4 now? It's actually not even that far off for Sunclan.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's never over until one team has 10 points, as you might know. But but yeah, this is really close still.
Alright, let's see. They have to bring in probably heroes here.
Yeah, heroes with Seal Tombs would be the most logical choice most of the time, unless they have some sort of a super anti-vampire deck, the Vampire Buster deck. That's I mean, to be honest though, if your opponent doesn't know that you're playing Buster, and they go first with Vampires, for example, and they get that sweet 0 defense, that's pretty crazy. Buster Blader, when they don't know that you're playing it, can be destructive, but
I mean,
but
good,
you probably
when
would
they
have
beat
seen Buster.
surgery.
Well, yeah, that's true.
When you hit them with the DNA surgery, you just pierce into all those 0 defenses. Yeah, most likely gonna see heroes here.
Yeah, I feel like Hero is definitely the most likely deck at this point. Unless something really strange comes out, but I think both teams are probably going mostly with decks that they feel super confident in, that are proven throughout the season, since this is the big finals match for them. They've been grinding it out for actual months to get to this point, and it's very important not to throw any games with silly decks, I feel like. But then again, it depends. I don't know. I feel like both of these teams have people who are ready to get their memes on sometimes, at least.
We were always playing memes. Alright, so let's see.
Yeah, so
Eugen's actually one of the key players, like you were talking about earlier. It's 23 and 15, so some of that might have to do with the 6-6 season record, but obviously in playoffs it doesn't matter because these guys are made it to the finals even with their 6-6 record.
Yeah, we can also one of those gold icon players here from that team, doing pretty well in all events.
Worlds next year. Already got his spot for Worlds.
Yeah, first player to do so. I mean, what I'm really curious about is what happens. It would not make a lot of sense for him to grind it out a second time, right? But if that were to happen, right, what would Konami do?
Maybe give it to the second? I don't know. That'd be
give him a second place. Just give him 2 plane tickets.
We got K star NG $.
Yeah, not sure what that is.
W with line going through it. AG versus Oi.
Yeah, King Swag Body playing that Shizu, 20 cards, going second, most likely Seal Tombs heroes. Let's see if he can get a quick OTK or if it's not going to be enough.
Damn, what is King Swag Body's sleeves? That looks like a doormat. What the?
Those are one of the 2 possible new quote-unquote simplistic designs. They are cheaper sleeves.
We got ourselves a budget player.
Yeah, you can get them for I think $1.33 or something, or $2.39. I don't remember, but they're cheaper, or at least the mat is also cheaper.
Alright, so who's going first here? Blue player, so it's Eugen. He's taking his time. Let's see, judging by the deck size, it's probably going to be Hero.
Yeah, I think it's heroes. It would make sense, of course, also to bring it in with heroes here. It might be that Eugen's kind of like not very happy with his hand and deciding whether he wants to like establish a bigger monster or not. Okay, summons Retainer, one back row, and for him the best scenario is that's a drowning Mirror Force, and he can drown an Anki or two away. But I mean, we'll see, I guess. Sealed Tomb's activated right off the bat, gonna prevent him from making any big plays next turn as well. Now it comes down to what King Swag has drawn. The Retainer lock on board right now.
Are we gonna see Decider's effect?
Yeah,
so
Decider's
he's got
effect
that
does pop up
magic.
here.
Or he's worried about the widespread? No hacks about the widespread.
Yeah, doesn't care at all. Just gonna be going in with the mass change in the main phase. Might be wanting to set another card potentially, or I mean, well, not really, since if you're going in, you're going in. You want to use that second mass change that you had. Since this was a normal summoned Retainer, he is going to be able to, going to be able to go to the graveyard, and as a result, a mass change is going to be searchable.
He's gonna need a second mass change. A third mass change, I should say.
Or alternatively, a Chalice.
I mean, even just going for it is fine, right? Because you put him at 100, so...
Yeah, he's not going to be able to search.
I can't pay for anything. Are we gonna see him just finish him? No, okay. Well, being at 100 is terrifying. Well, being at anything less than 600 is very bad for vampires. Because they won't be able to pay for anything. So...
Yep, that's going to be a scoop here. Eugen knows when he's done here. Already opened fairly poor hand, so with the counter deck opening pretty well was not meant to be, I guess. Yeah, as with most good wars, keeping it really close here with the scoreline 6-5. Still anyone's game, really. I mean, they're already in the game, but I mean, you can kind of expect probably the counter decks to start running out like after 2 more decks for both teams. So at that point, it might come down to who gets to go on a run, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, at some point there are some decks that just start streaking like crazy. Like if there's no Silent Magicians left, or if there's no Buster Bladers, then like Blue Eyes just starts dominating everything. Being at, you're right, Monkey Boy, 550 is pretty good.
501 is pretty good too.
The Evil Swarm Heliotrope for 1950.
I mean,
so the second deck is the Banish Control.
I mean, let's not forget about the Sword Arm of Dragon.
Castle of Illusion. I think that's the name of the card.
Yeah,
But
Castle of
with
Illusion
30,
is also...
I think the Spirit of the Cards or something, the Grim Reaper God.
Yep, that also.
Some weird thing.
And I believe there is one more dinosaur / dragon other than Dragon of Sword Arm. That's nice and uneven. There's some interesting cards.
That's one set. Oh my goodness. If we see a Drill Dark Mass Change, well, Drill Dark Monster Mass Change.
I mean, you do have to remember that a lot of those monsters do have 1600 defense, so...
Yeah, fair enough.
Plus they have those removal effects, so it's not that bad, unless this is actually Gladiator Beast and he's bluffing with a handful of Gladiator Beasts. In which case, that's amazing right now. But I somehow feel like we're not gonna see any Gladiator Beasts.
The RNG gods are fair at least. Oh, never mind. Alright, we see the princess coming out. About to get lit.
Yeah, depending on the hand, this could be insane right about now.
I wonder what he said. Now I do wonder what he
now
said.
you do wonder, huh? I mean, obviously one of those cards is Onslaught. What would you not set here? Being afraid of Baccarat? I don't even know.
Canadia in the main phase.
The zing is something
my
he might have been
goodness.
afraid of, and now it is zinged.
He's been beamed.
I'm not
Who-
entirely
he hates that
sure why he didn't wait a bit longer to be able to summon the Canadia though. off of
He
Zing.
definitely has monsters.
But he has the monsters, I guess, yeah, so...
He needs to kill Princess. Wait, what?
No
if he
monster.
didn't have a monster, why didn't he... Why didn't he Zing first? No, he should have Canadian first, then Zing.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like he should have waited to allow for that Canadia to go off. I mean, you still wait for the battle phase just because to Zing, just because they could still set cards extra, right? So it's a bit of an awkward position. Witch Raider, not an impossibility in this deck, so not very likely, but not impossible. Could clear up the board here still.
Damn. Tom V. Delzin says Swag does not have this. Did he say a contradicting statement earlier? Let's see. It doesn't look like it. Okay. Good job, Tom. But honestly, he's not in the worst spot, but he's gonna have to deal with a queen now, which is gonna be unfortunate. Maybe he won't even flip it up. Maybe he'll forget he has a princess set.
Yeah, maybe he'll think that it was floodgated, right, Kappa? It's only Eugen we're talking about. Still in the main phase. I mean, does tribute for the Witch Raider, as I called. Here he comes, he heard the ring, second Canadia comes out, but I mean, everything else gets popped
with the
here.
mass change.
Summons the Canadia now, I mean, very unfortunate
huge.
that
That's
he didn't.
everything gone. Oh my lord.
Yeah, everything is gone, and he could have forced the tribute on either another back row card or on the DD Assailant. So, I don't know, not very, I don't know why he didn't Canadia and then Zing, but oh well, it probably wouldn't have changed that much.
This one's over. That was just too much resources. That was like a neg 9 million.
Yeah, he lost the Canadia and he lost the Drowning Mirror Force and the Zing.
And life points.
And life points on top of that.
Yeah. And he also would have made him have to tribute the Assailant. But he just had to tribute his princess.
Trying to think right now. Actually, though, I guess he was going for attempting lethal potentially, because it wouldn't have been lethal with just Princess and Witch Raider. It does have the mass change here, but double backer, one of which we know is Onslaught, and then one of which we know he didn't want to tribute to potentially keep 3 monsters on the board, so gonna be rough. If we see a Drowning Mirror first come out, that's gonna be extremely ridiculous though, but doesn't look like that's the case.
Yeah, even without Drowning though, the Holy Guard is just too powerful.
Yeah, exactly. Holy Guard is still a huge threat here. Gonna be able to just crash the DD Assailant into...
Like, after this, he has nothing. Like, there's nothing he can draw to win after this. This was his final push.
Yeah, the Witch Raider definitely extremely powerful when you can get it off against a deck that commits to a full back row. Any monster, or doesn't even need a monster, it's over because of Onslaught being able to summon the Canadia for free. That's just gonna be, well, actually no, his Canadia's summon got stolen by the other Canadia. I did actually forget about that, but I mean, it's still a terrible spot here, yeah.
He's in there. I'm calling it early.
I mean, he could kind of attempt to stall for a bit with Decider, right? Because if he wants to get for Vanky, he does have to trade in with the Ascent unless he has the Queen in hand. But
the only way I see Eugen losing this is if his face down is Golden Apple.
Willpower, I guess. Well, no, actually, Willpower is activatable. Damn. Yeah, I mean, I'm not calling it for a loss for him, Another princess comes out. Holy cannoli.
Alright, both of these gotta be golden apples.
Now, there is actually a willpower either here or there. Or somewhere.
I don't think
this
Eugen plays willpower, but let's find out.
Or maybe he doesn't play it, yeah, since there was no activation. So either he has it or he doesn't play willpower. That's also very likely now that you mention it. Used to the Amazon Stack of Vault from Eugen, so. Hey Diego, everybody else as well that has joined us. So he topped a Drill Dark, no back row for protection here. A monster that can just straight up run over his Drill Dart can deal damage, but also run over his Decider. So no problems there, no way to come back at this point. Now it's gonna be Eugen taking that deck away from King Swag Body.
Alright, so King Swag Body is going to need his vampire deck.
Yeah, this is the point where I feel like they might not have an answer anymore for this deck. And that's why you probably also said that sending it in later is really, really strong as well because of that reason. Since you need specific answers for something like this.
Yeah. I think Buster Blader is good against this.
Yeah, Buster can kind of beat it.
But the problem is sometimes they don't play anything and they deck you out. So that's why you really need the Mirage Dragon.
Yeah, Mirage Dragon is incredible. Too bad I didn't play. Feels bad, man.
Yeah. I saw Firu who got he didn't make the top 32. Like he was the guy that got like 33rd place or whatever. But he was also playing a Buster Blader with Mirage Dragon. That's pretty spicy.
I think they switched places on me. Yeah. So we're gonna be
we
seeing
got
Audio on the bottom.
Anzu on the top. We got Anzu on the top and Rashid on the bottom.
Yeah, classic Rashid being the wait, what?
So this actually, he's playing stall. Oh no! So this is gonna be a endless trap, hell shuffle, all my cards back, you lose type of situation.
Yeah, prepare for trouble and make it double because this match time is probably gonna be double of that from the previous games. Get your sleeping caps out, people. Well, alternatively, 30 card Glad Beasts, anyone? Setting all 4 cards that he drew, I mean...
King Swag Body back at it again with the doormat sleeve. But yeah, in this situation, Eugen cannot afford to pass, so something like a Wall of D would be huge for King Swag Body.
Yeah, I think there's a... If you open with Wall of D, it's gonna be really rough. You can't overcommit all monsters, but at the same time, oh my lord.
Call Warrior.
Yeah, if he calls Warrior, this might be over if you open with a funny...
He opened the Forbidden Combo. Trap Hot Stone.
Yeah. Cypher
Soldier.
Soldier.
The Cypher Soldier. Oh my goodness.
But Holy Guard actually.
Holy Guard.
Yeah, never mind. The ultimate counter to Cypher Soldier, Holy Guard.
Got him. We got him, boys.
Yeah,
Oops.
Will had already called it as well. No summons.
King Swag Body was just like, haha, just kidding with that DNA surgery, by the way. Alright, this is Monka S now. We have officially entered Monka S stages.
One of the outs here for this matchup also, from the side of Eugen, of course, is the Witch Rider, which was decisive in the last game. Same thing happens here. He's still definitely able to tribute for a Witch Rider and potentially go in for a game, depending on what happens in response to that. But this time around, of course, he has to rush a lot more because ETH is a skill that will be poppable and then just +1 get an annoying trap card back, and probably not change the game state at all anymore.
I think if I'm Eugen, he probably has the onslaught already, because he's choosing to special summon here. But there's no reason to not search if you're like afraid of decking out, because there's no way you're gonna win. There's no way you're gonna win through deck out. So you just take everything.
Yeah, for sure. You want that Witch Raider fast. You want all of your answer cards as fast as possible.
He obviously already has the onslaught. Didn't search it, so that's gonna be extremely rough for King Swag.
It comes down to the last face down right now. He is starting to draw monsters though.
Wall of D so bad.
I mean, even if Wall of D, there's still the princess. So he had a Snowman Eater. I'm gonna be able to pop the Amazoness Queen here. Holy cannoli! What is going on?
He hit this man with the Snowman Eater. What the Wall of D? Wait a minute.
I mean, what doesn't really matter in the values for damage due to Holy Guard, so not that huge of a difference.
Well, the problem big, but
But at the same time, yeah, I feel like it would be nice to have Juggler at 0.
Eater. Okay, let's see how this goes. He hit him with that Doro battle phase. Wait a minute. Alright, I think I would have attacked into the wind-up Juggler. No onslaught, okay.
Yeah, actually, I feel like... Go ahead.
The reason why you would swing to the Juggler, though, is because the Canadia is unaffected by monster effects. So
I mean, the effect is only usable once, so...
Yeah, but didn't he reset it with the oh no, he swung you with the Snowman Eater. This is a different one. Okay. Yeah, so I can't even. Fair enough.
Yeah, but I think what's really strange is that he didn't send the princess to the graveyard earlier with the Snowman Eater effect, since she is able to kind of cycle through any remaining Amazoness cards and send your low level attack monsters. If you had done that and also wadded, then there would be only one usable slot at that point until a Witch Raider comes, so that interests me a bit more, I suppose, at that point, but still. It's still definitely in a decent position here. Especially if he gets more floodgates or something to
I wonder if the D is even worth setting. Because now it's just like a useless slot for him.
Yeah, I feel like DNA might have been better face down. Just as a threat of a face down trap card here. Having it face up is... I don't know, like it's obvious what it is and it does nothing. I probably tend to agree here right now. Wasn't worth setting, and it wasn't worth activating at this rate.
Wad's gonna bring it down to 400, it's still gonna be able to kill it.
Yeah, I'm also not entirely sure why Swagbody's going in. I mean, after using those resources as he did, he's kind of in a pinch because there's a threat of getting poked to death and stuff, but still kind of an interesting decision, I guess, because usually when you have the deck out...
I wouldn't have set the Snowman Eater, and I would have just gambled on the Wall of D, because that's like, he wouldn't have had to use any of his resources right now, so he'd just be setting and setting and setting and setting, and then hopefully he's playing something like Karibo for the Witch Raider push, because then that'd just be auto win. But now he's in the spot where Eugen has way more resources than him.
Yeah, also we haven't seen a Swordsman so far, I believe, yes?
Actually,
from
a lot of
Wigan.
a lot of the decks don't even play swordswoman anymore.
Yeah.
They just play. They play the one prince or two princess, one queen, one onslaught. That's not even any swords.
Yeah, so I think in that case especially, I probably agree with you on the WOD decision. Since, I mean,
Damn, but that's no Eater. Now it's gonna put in work. Now this is exactly what King Swag Body wants.
oh yeah, now
because
it's really big.
Once they both hit 6 cards in their hand, it doesn't really matter who has. Like right now, even right now, it's probably like they have about the same amount of chances to win this because they both have a ton of cards now.
Yeah, it comes down to being able to push for game at this point.
Yeah, he needs to have the thing to stop the Witch Raider because when it pops off his back row, he needs to have like a hand trap.
1500 life points is not that
The
hard.
Snowman
yeah.
Eater is great though because how many wind up? Wait, has
He's gone for
Eugen used 2 jugglers?
yeah, he has to use 2, I believe.
Okay, so the only thing is Queen could kill the Snowman Eater, and the OG DD that would also be very good.
Yeah, but you can only run so many cards in a 20 card deck, right? So we definitely know he runs those assailants because of their really great stat line for the hero matchup with the 1600 defense, 17 attack. We have seen the princesses, we have seen yeah, why are you so questioning so many things, VK? What the Kappa?
Yeah, can somebody get this guy out of here?
Who is he? Why does he need all of this information?
Alright, so Eugen has gone through 2 jugglers, so there's either one left or none.
Yeah, one or none, and I don't know, I feel like you probably kind of covered the same ground with the jugglers and the
There's the
The-
Witch Raider.
wind-ups and normal DD warriors, so chances are he doesn't run them even. Yeah, Witch Raider does clear the back row. There was a Drowning Mirror Force that he got rid of.
Interesting. Okay, so now King Swag Body can actually set everything he wants, right? Or does Eugen play 2 Witch Raiders? Is that possible?
I mean, if that is the case, that'd be...
And then honestly, King Swag Body could Endless Trap Hell as well. Like, yeah, there's no reason not to because obviously he's gonna deck out very soon.
I feel like I would have probably ETH'd before I set a card, but he decided to set before. Gets that WOD back, saying if you storm your field, you're pretty much over at this point. That's gonna be
Karakuri.
yeah, Karakuri Ninja Sazunk gonna like take care of that Witch Raider. Not looking great right now. No more summons also. Well, actually, never mind. I said it a bit too fast, but yeah, no more summons here from the side of Swag Body.
Damn, there's the Floodgate on the 3rd juggler.
Yeah, so he does run 3 jugglers, but doesn't look very very good for him. Whatever he summons now, unless it's another Witch Raider, it's already gonna be losing 1600 attacks, so... That's a Cypher Soldier. Doesn't need DNA Surger in this battle, since that's a warrior type monster. Unable to get over it.
Oof. You hate to see it happen.
Yeah, not looking good. I mean, the only out at this point for the Cypher would be a normal DD warrior. That's pretty much it. And even then, you still have the wall of these to make the DD ascent go to 0. I think this might be over. I think this is looking like the win goes to King Swag Body with more cards in his deck that stall his opponent.
Well, I think the only thing, I don't know, it'd have to be like some crazy thing like Zing with like Amazoness Queen. Like it had to be something ridiculous.
Well, Queen is in the graveyard already, though.
Oh, is Amazoness Queen in the graveyard?
Yeah, she was sent to the grave with Snowman Eater effect.
Oh yes, I completely forgot about that. Oh no, okay, it's over. He's just playing it out, I suppose.
Yeah, can't even force his opponent to discard any cards for extra information. There's a slot to set. There's not even gonna be enough cards in the hand to discard. Well, yeah.
Localized tornado one time.
For that farm. Yeah, that's gonna be a scoop here. King Swag Buddy winning this match. And taking care of Eugen as a result.
Damn, that Snowman Eater came in so clutch, actually.
All 3 times.
Nah, the last time was as the big booty wall. It was the most. It also got rid of Queen too, I suppose. So.
Yeah, four more active decks remaining for. Wait, am I mistaken? No, 4 more active decks remaining for the side of Bricks, yeah, and only 3 for Sunclan, so they do have the deck count advantage here. Gonna be able to potentially go on a streak if they have something that's hard to counter again. But this 30 card deck is, what do you even send against this? Like, again, you need something with back row, hey? Triple Lila, 1 breaker. I mean, we'll see. Maybe Shazam. Just monsters that destroy back row. Triple green Kappa. You know, the good stuff. Trap Master, or whatever his name is. The guy from the starter deck, Kaiba.
Yeah, Trap Master. The one that has like no body.
Yep. And like, well, his body is like a chainsaw or something.
Yeah, very unfortunate for him.
I mean, maybe he, maybe it's good for work. You never know. The key is zing in a deck. I mean, and also drawing the zing and also hitting key cards that are battle traps or something. Then being able to push for lethal. But otherwise, yeah, I agree with you, Egg. Yeah, Taichi is from Japan, Dexter. Damn, Wayne calling for the Archfiends to deal with that stall deck. I don't even know. Not sure if even Archfiends can deal with the mighty power of this deck.
I think he needs to whip out the 30 card. Well, actually, 30 cards wouldn't work. Because he wouldn't be able to grass. Gonna have to pull out Dark Creator Archfiend Turbo featuring Snipe Hunter.
Or just, you know, send in, we are seeing Andy coming in here. Send in Gem Knight FTK. And just FTK your opponent on turn 1. Before they even get to make a move. Yeah, Jinzo is good, but only until he has to fight the monsters that are actually there, though.
He's gonna need Angel 07 and Jinzo at the same time. But it looks like Blue Eyes actually has a pretty decent matchup versus this. So
yeah, it depends on the start, of course, for both players. But this is one of the better starting positions for Andy playing Blue Eyes.
King Swagbite doesn't have the Holy Guard, so he can't swing into this Cosmo Brain without taking a ton of damage.
Yeah, but I mean, since he is on the side of stalling here, Galaxy second right off the bat hits the Canadia here. But yeah, since he is on the defensive side, he doesn't really need to swing for the most part. He can just set his monsters and say, Andy, well, you know what I set here is probably gonna destroy or banish a card you have, but kind of have to get rid of it though. So he is free to play defensively here still for this scenario for now.
Maybe he's playing grass late game. You go grass and then you endless trap hell, and you get a free random trap card from your.
Yeah, grass equaling a random trap card from the graveyard. Did we see any DD Assailants actually, or did we not before? Trying to think. We saw Canadia's scaling stuff. We saw Snowman Eater. I'm trying to think if Azure Eyes could be relatively.
Oh, wow. I was gonna say that Destructotron was gonna be huge, but it's actually gonna be nothing. It's gonna be a
tribute
special summon from.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tribute and a special summon. I mean, I wouldn't call it nothing, but it could have flipped the game completely upside down. Didn't happen here. He's gonna be finning the deck here, summoning from the deck a Blue Eyes White Dragon and probably attacking man. Or maybe he'll wait, let's see. Does go into a battle phase though. Attacks into a Snowman Eater.
Here. Yeah, you probably get rid of the brain. Let's see, we're gonna see a widespread.
Oh, drowning
Oh my goodness.
instead.
They're gonna see the Canadian come out. Alright, he needs a monster.
Yep, Canada is gonna
Get
be
this
coming out in
man up.
defense unless it wants to get banished instantly. So yeah.
He can actually afford to ETH as well.
Yeah, I mean, kind of early for him. I feel like he doesn't need to with the lack of resources. A big problem for Blue Eyes is that usually when you commit to a play, if you lose your monsters to something like TTH or Drowning, you're out at that point. You probably have nothing. He did happen to have a Birthright, so he got a monster back and he got a back row card for free. But since it was Canadia, it didn't really accomplish that much.
If this Blue Eyes gets banished, that would be extremely devastating.
It's a Cypher
so-
Soldier, yeah. So I was gonna say I don't think we saw DD Assailants, or at least multiple. We saw 3 from Eugen, but I don't think we saw them from the 30 card
that
deck.
Cyclone on Birthright does nothing. Feels
Yeah.
bad.
Birthright
Because
no
he
longer is
flipped it
tied.
down. He flipped it down with Canadia. Oh no.
Yeah, very
I hate to see it
unfortunate.
happen. Alright. If he gets the well, I don't know, I guess he would tribute it. No, he's going for a big.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Hit him with the
going
drowning.
in, nothing. Going in again.
It's DNA surgery.
It is DNA
Yep.
surgery. Oh my lord. Okay. Well,
Wait, does he have a Canadian in the grave? Nope. Okay. Damn.
I
that
thought he
is
did have
unfortunate.
one in the graveyard, but well,
Why did he flip it down with Canadia though?
yeah, I'm not sure either. Maybe he forgot, but that was a pretty quick cleanup here for Blue Eyes as a result. That's also gonna mean King Swag Body's out at this point, and Bricks are up 8-6. Only one more
TBH,
player.
It was probably still a game. Well, no, because
You would need like a silver
no.
scribe.
Okay, yeah. Well, he would have an additional turn to get something, but on the turn that he
Didn't ETH it.
Canadian, no, that he Canadian, did he also have the Kinetic Soldier set or the Cypher Soldier set? I think he did, right? He had like one set and then he Canadian the Spirit.
Trying to recall right now. I think he did, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because
I
then
mean-
otherwise, if he set yeah. It was definitely set before, but
Wait,
if he had
that was
access
an
to both
end
of-
phase. That was an end phase. Canadian actually, wasn't it? In response to the Birthright. The Canadian was in response to Birthright being activated
Yeah.
and summoning. So if
No, I was just wondering if there was a situation where he would have been able to have Kinetic Soldier and the DNA surgery, but I don't.
yeah, and he also didn't of the Canadia since it was banished. So, like, we both remembered Canadia being a thing, but it wasn't there because it was banished with the Spirit.
Alright, so Yasser's got to go 4-0, not impossible.
Yep, definitely within the realm of possibility. We've seen crazier comebacks both today and throughout the season. We have seen 10-1 runs from players. We have seen 10-0 runs, I think. We've seen 9-1 runs, you know, all sorts of crazy things have happened. And all he needs to do is go 4-1 here. Still pretty hard though, of course, considering the opponents here being top tier players. Andy, who has won a YCS and topped multiple tournaments in Duel Links as well. Gonna be quite rough, but Yasser is definitely also a top tier player in Duel Links for sure. But yeah, last player from the side of Sunclan. Brick still keeping both Andy with 2 decks and Taichi. So not the easiest of opponents to have. What do you think is the remaining deck here from Sunclan PDS?
Yasser, let's see.
I feel like Yasser would probably play at least one Blue Eyes deck.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see Blue Eyes and Heroes. That'd be the best that they could have. But yeah, Blue Eyes versus Blue Eyes, pretty tough mirror, honestly. Unless you have the chalices are huge in that, and also econ.
Yeah, so Andy playing a more standard build also of Blue Eyes, so pretty easy to predict for the most part what to see in his list, most likely. Yeah, going in with that Ishizu here, Seal Tombs most likely for Yasser, who always has 1 S in the game, but 2 in the player roster. I'm not sure why, but it just is like that. And exact same start from the side of Andy. I mean, you always do open Cosmo brand, so I guess not that crazy. No, we haven't seen any Bujins so far, Shaz.
Looks like it's gonna be vampires, so if we he either didn't want to risk a mirror match or he's playing heroes as a second deck. I think that's what we can come to the conclusion.
Yeah, since Spellbooks would have come in over vampires for sure as well. And yeah, heroes would not be as good of a matchup here at all. Vampires, I mean, have an okay time against this deck, but it's still kind of hard because those are some big monsters. And there's also some back row removal, which is not a good time if you're playing only a couple of back row cards that are fairly key to your success. Gonna be activating Seal Tombs right now, so not gonna have to worry about the effect of a revival card here. Magic Deflector in response though, that's gonna completely seal off any continued plays here, other than
Not
potentially
even
like a
able to...
Actually can't even Gazuki effect here, because you can't banish from the graveyard.
That is, that's huge actually.
Yeah, if he chained Econ, that could have been game right there, but no Econ here. Now, he is gonna be able to use his cards from the graveyard if he lives that long, but not really.
Luster Dragon. He's gonna upgrade to a big boy.
You mean like tributing the Cosmo? Okay.
Wait,
you can't tribute Luster, so.
I think he did what I was just thinking. It's okay though.
Were you actually thinking about your reading Luster? Oh my.
Well, actually, yeah, I was, but it's okay.
Yeah, it
He's not
happens.
upgrading to a big boy. Sphere
Karibo actually
Karibo.
saving him
Oh my
here.
goodness.
But it's
No
okay.
upgrades.
I know
Alright.
somebody who thought that they can fuse a Buster Blader fusion that's a dragon, and they got us with the third eye into a bust or into a Dark Paladin accidentally
What?
because
Was
they
that you?
discarded a yeah, that's me.
What?
Because they
Dark
discarded a Buster Blader before, and in their mind they had it still. But yeah,
Oh
he's-
yeah, I saw that play actually. I remember that.
I mean,
Anyways,
I could
though,
say I played around Mask Change, but yeah.
you just gave him the super omega big suck with that blue eyes instead of because normally it would only be plus 15.
Yeah, plus
but
15.
Now it's gonna be the super omega big suck on the Lesser Dragon.
Gonna go up to 55 if he does tribute summon this turn. Let's see that Vampire Vamp come out. Yep, there she is. In all her glory with 2000 attack about to pump up to 5000 and then 55.
55. Oh my goodness.
And
Where's
you know
the
he's
heal?
gonna go for the farm. He's gonna attack with a Sam Skull and then go for the farm. Over 5000 damage. And Blue Eyes is done. It didn't look that great for him after that deflector, but no follow-up back row cards. I mean, it happens with Blue Eyes. Sometimes you just have no other plays. You keep drawing Blue Eyes monsters and there's nothing.
Yeah, you just have big boys and you have to just hope for the best. That's the way that deck is, though.
I mean,
Just
it's
summon Blue
extremely
Eyes and-
powerful if you draw really well as well, so it's a fair trade-off, I would say. I think they're already in the game, so let's see. Yeah, it feels strange because before you needed to get off the table to switch your decks or to side deck, now you don't.
That's what I...
So I'm
Because
always like not
usually
used to
game
it.
3, I would hop out the table just to make them think I was siding. But you can't do that anymore, really.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I hop off intentionally, even if I'm not siding, or if I am siding. Because one time my game bugged, and I went into a duel and then it crashed. And I'm pretty sure it was because of the duel rooms messing up, but yeah. We're gonna be seeing spellbooks here from Andy Sang, nothing that he's not familiar with, starting up without restarting here, has a good hand probably, and gonna be setting up that fate here. He's gonna need a Silent Magician for a good start here. Without her, this is a really difficult matchup, especially if they start Samurai Skull, but looks like he doesn't have her.
Yeah, Silent Magician is the biggest. Oh my lord. Alright, we could be seeing an OTK. All he needs is the Gozuki / Samurai Skull. There's like a big combination, but it basically just the end board is Gozuki, Grace, and the Kingdom. Let's see what he has.
I mean, it
Does he
doesn't
have-
even need to be Gazuki. He could even
Yeah,
tribute the
it'd be Samurai
Gazuki.
Skull.
Or it could be one of the small ones, because it still ends up being lethal at that point.
Or
Also,
it would have to
alternatively,
be, Retainer.
Alternatively, he doesn't even need to doesn't even need the ability to pop anything. If he gets 3 monsters out anyways, he can run over the blue boy even with a familiar here. If he discards, yep, there he goes with a retainer in the graveyard. This is gonna probably end right here.
Yeah, it might be coming down to Taichi, boys. Yeah, it's looking like it's gonna come down to Taichi. There's the domain. He can send domain with the retainer and pick up the kingdom. Yeah, that's looking like game.
Yeah, this is gonna be game. Gonna be calling. I mean, yeah, he did set 3 and that's spellbooks. There's no Sphere Karibo. Though he did have 1 card in the hand of it. Even if he had Quick Reroll, you don't come back from this with spellbooks. You just don't.
Yeah, you really need the SM turn 1. They really needed that Trinade.
Yeah, that was Trinade brought to them by fate, I guess.
Now this is extremely winnable for Sunclan. They just need 2 more wins, and so do Brick.
Even activate Seal Tombs on top just in case. No follow-up. That's gonna be it. That's gonna be Andy losing his second deck as well.
It's coming down to the wire here.
Yeah, it's gonna be Taichi versus Yasser in the end. The whole finals prize pool here lying on the backs of 2 players that have to anchor for their teams at this point. I mean, it's been fairly close. I feel like the deck choices have been fairly similar for both teams as well. Yeah.
The first 8 games did not matter. It's all coming down to this last best of 3.
I mean, you can't say they didn't matter. Every of those games mattered.
It's coming down to this last best of 3. Monka S. Yeah, they did matter. You're right, but in the grand scheme of things, it's coming down to a best of 3 between Yasser and Taichi.
I mean, if you are in a best of 3 situation with 2 decks, I feel like Vampires is one of the decks you might feel safer with, because it's usually so consistent.
You definitely don't want like a super. You don't want a super counter deck.
Yeah,
you don't know what the other guy has.
Like a Buster Blader as your last deck would be.
That'd be broken, because that's the last deck. That's the best deck. So.
I mean, it is the best deck, right? But if you break once, it's gonna be really sad. Say, you know what they need? Buster Blader needs a 3-headed Buster Blader.
If the script is going like it has been going, it always comes down to 9-9, and Sunclan's opponent bricks at the final game. So let's see how it goes here.
Oh no! Did you just leak the script live? Not like that.
No, that's just the way it's has been for the past couple of games.
Alright, well, let's see if it changes at all or not. But yeah, at this point, I mean, for Taichi, it's probably deciding between his 2 decks, which one to send in as the first deck. I feel like spellbooks are fairly likely again, because of most of the Japanese players that are playing international, I've seen them perform really, really well with spellbooks, like make some crazy comebacks, win against full power Amazonas, for example, and they seem very familiar with the deck. And at the same time, Vampires are also really popular in those cases, but you never know. It is Team Wars after all.
Yes, as long as the one player has not played yet. If their decks haven't been played yet, then they can be substituted.
But yeah, we're just waiting for the final players to join, and it's gonna be the last best of 3. I mean, getting only 3 matches for this season of Team Wars. If you want to increase the prize pool, I believe you can still donate. As far as I know, everything except PayPal fees goes to the final prize pool at this point. Well, actually, I guess it's not just the finals, but also the other prize pool. But you know, Takum saying here, cheering for Sunclan. If you're a subscriber, also remember you can cheer for your favorite of the 2 teams playing at this moment. with the team logo icons. So you see, I assume that is Taichi on the table here.
What? I don't see him. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, he hopped off for a second.
Taichi with his Aster Phoenix, his Edo Phoenix.
Yeah, Edo. Edo, basically Edu.
Make your bets. This is a close one. I gotta see the first decks before I say it. Oh no, it's one of these games.
He has those nice maintenance blue eyes sleeves. I wish I could get those. Those are ridiculous. Konami, please put them in the store. I would pay a lot, even with that logo. I would pay $15 probably.
You won't catch me rocking those sleeves.
Yeah, because you're a fool.
I figured it out. Yasser's final deck is Silent Magician. Alright, so let's see. Whose turn is it? It is Yasser's turn first? Yes. Okay, so it's nice to be able to seal tombs your opponent's first turn, but they can seal tombs you, so then you need to have stuff already established.
Yep, for sure. So he might even keep his seal tombs. I mean, he is against a 20 card deck, so it could be heroes. And it could be a counter deck here, so it's kind of rough. They might even be going over the past decks used by Taichi again. They definitely have done it before, right? But just to make sure what he has played as well. Also notice that flashlight in the mouth of that Blue Eyes Dragon on the mat there. It's kind of freaky. Why is he eating a flashlight? Well, anyways. Not the best of starts here from the side of Yasser, looks like. Monster and backer is set. That's looking like a break right there.
The last game.
Yeah, that grenade cost his luck points. Galaxy Cyclone right off the bat. That's gonna be very painful. Hits the grenade
no.
too. And
There's
Seal Teams follow up.
Wow, it's heroes. Oh my goodness.
No.
Alright, this is gonna be huge for him. If he has a match change, it's over.
I mean, even if he doesn't have a mass change, he's gonna have one effect activation at this point. That's not good. You don't want to be in that spot. No mass change, but still. Back
and he's
card.
under Seal Tombs.
Yeah, Sealed Tombs can't activate anything. I mean, you can, if he top decked, he needs to, this card that he top decked, it needs to be either Drowning, I guess, or even Drowning doesn't save him here, per se. He can't set anything in the defense because everything has low defense. Yeah, that's just game. He can't do anything at that point.
So Bricks is on match point here.
Yeah, very unfortunate break for him. He did open Godly the last game, so it just happens like that sometimes. Taichi didn't even open that broken, but the Drill Dark was definitely huge for him. So if I were Yasser, I would probably take a little bit to compose myself and go into this match without feeling too stressed. I mean, in the end, it's still a card game. It's a card game with a lot on the line, but it's a card game, and sometimes you draw bad, sometimes you draw really well. You just gotta hope that you draw well and your opponent draws bad. Let's go into this match. Potential last game of Team Wars this season. Let's go. It's a Shizu versus Arcana. Does have the possibly the favorable matchup here. If he is playing Trick Up the Sleeve. Yes, he is.
Alright, it's gonna come down to Blue Eyes. You know, I did hear Taichi say that Buster Blader was tier 1, so could that be his final? Let's see if
Oh
if
my lord.
Yasser is able to bring it out.
I mean, it's not, depending on your build, it's not impossible to beat Buster Blader, even if it doesn't brick as Blue Eyes, but it's really hard. You basically got a god hand.
Triple set hero sealed tombs. Alright. He's
Yeah.
gonna need Breaker, he's gonna need to have 2 dragons, one of them being a spirit.
I mean, no breaker, just Destructitron.
Oh, no.
Oh my lord, he has
That's a
it.
good boy.
I imagine there might be a chalice, but let's see what happens. The cost is paying the life points, I guess. So if you do have a chalice, you would probably chalice after the cost is paid, so he loses a
It's most
1,000
likely
life
a
points.
Canadian. Okay, it's a mirror wall. Interesting.
But
He's doing that, so if there's a spirit in the hand, though, it's not gonna matter. There is this.
yeah, but I'm pretty sure Destructitron does not destroy a card that's flipped face up, though. So
Yeah, that's
it
correct.
saved him 1,000 life points potentially. So I'm not sure. It could be the time of day for Taichi, since I believe it's really, really early for him.
Alright, a spirit in the hand would be ridiculous right now.
Yeah, Spirit would basically seal the game. I mean, would seal the game.
Oh my goodness. It's gonna come down to the wire on this one.
Yeah, this is
Oh, he
an
has
enemy
Econ
control.
too.
The God Hand, Yasser doing it again. It's going down 9-9. Play the Silver Scrapes. I mean, what?
It actually didn't matter if he waited or not, though, here, honestly. That was not a misplay by Taichi, because even if he waited, he would have still had this exact play. So it would
Yeah.
just been 1,000 life points weaker.
It wouldn't, but I don't know. Like, still, at 1,000 life points, one Anki and direct attack is game, though, right?
Yeah,
So-
but he still had Econ. He had everything already.
Well, but
so.
he didn't know that he had Econ. Like, you're saying it in retrospect, it doesn't matter.
But he would still pay 3,000 to blow everything up. It doesn't, like, you know what I mean? The
Actually-
mirror wall would be dying anyways.
Yeah, but you don't know that, is what I'm saying. Well, either way,
But
we're down.
He would be paying 3,000 to pop everything.
Oh well.
Like, you know, if he didn't flip the mirror wall out. Alright guys, I'm gonna need you to spam your Sunclan and your bricks and potato emotes. This one's coming down to the final game here, 9-9.
We're going into this game. Let's see. We see Paradox Brothers or something non-standard that plays balance. That's gonna be Monk S. We're seeing Ishizu again. It's
Trick
gonna be
up
a
the
standard deck.
sleeves. It's gonna be another Seal Tombs. I'm predicting 22 cards. It's gotta be Vampires. So it's gonna be Vampires versus Blue Eyes. Alright, Yasser, let's see how well you built your deck. Who's going first here? Oh, it's Yasser. Alright, he's gonna need them deflected.
Yeah, Deflector is gonna... If he has Deflector, that's gonna be huge. Gonna be probably really, really slow turns right now for a very good reason. You don't want to throw this
still
one by
have it,
accident.
There's Sunclan.
Oh, right. Yeah, my bad. I was about to change it too.
Alright, so let's see. Yasser taking his time here. He's transforming into Black Jesus right before our very eyes. Yep, alright, so he didn't brick. He has the plays. And he's setting cards. Okay, just one set. Alright, so let's see here. Deflector is probably the best card ever.
Yeah, Deflector would be a huge start here.
Yeah, Deflector on Domain is just like, oh my god. But
We haven't seen it so
could
far
have-
from this build,
Yeah,
so
we haven't seen it.
it's hard to say. I feel like Deflector is probably also combined with the newer cards usually more often, with like Breakers, and so far we have seen the Econs and we have seen the Destructitrons, but Taichi opened up with a Gazuki, so not exactly a brick. Canadia though preventing any further follow-up plays here. Not gonna be able to use Desire even if you played it to send anything else to the graveyard, since you do need a face-up monster for that. Gonna be setting 1. Is he gonna be setting 2? Just Sealed Tombs, preventing any special summons here.
Alright, so we're gonna need... the left card is a monster, right? So let's see, is it a summonable monster? Cosmo Brain. Alright, he's gonna bring out a spirit here, looks like.
Yep, looks like a spirit is about to come out here. Is he gonna respond with a card of his own though, or is it just gonna get banished for free?
If he has a Blue Eyes as the final card in his hand, he is like super duper set. Mirror Wall, alright, that's gonna get banned.
I'm not entirely sure why he flipped it face up here, because Canadia could have just gotten summoned off of that.
Yeah, that's true actually.
And I'm also wondering why Canadia didn't get summoned as a result, but maybe he considered a bait, but he didn't even wait on that. That could have been...
no, Seal Tombs doesn't affect Canadia.
Yeah, Seal Tombs does not affect Canadia as it is a trap card, but I'm trying to, like, understand. I mean, he is still in a, in a bit of a risky position.
That had to have been it.
Yeah, it might have been the case.
Because what the thing is that Yasser definitely has a Blue Eyes White Dragon in his hand. Because he doesn't want his opponent to know that. So he turned his toggle off and didn't expect the Mirror Wall to be... But yeah, I think Taichi's in a pretty decent spot with that Samurai Skull now.
Yeah, if he went down to 15, he would not be able to do more than 2 effects, so that could have been really huge, I feel like. Sends a kingdom to summon his retainer here. If he searches for domain, you know what to expect probably too. Goes for the takeover instead. So again, if he were at 1500 here, this next attack would be very unpleasant as a result, but let's see. Goes into a main phase. Are we going to see any sets or summons? We are expecting the leftmost card to be a Blue Eyes, but we can't know for sure, of course.
Yeah, that's the only explanation I would have as to why he would have his toggle off. But okay, so he drew a card. It might be a big dragon, so he won't be able to do anything with it. Alright, it's going into battle. It's probably gonna kill that, doesn't really matter too much. I guess the Samurai Skull just for some damage. Takeover is not flipped. No Silver's Cry.
Yeah, didn't flip it face up even now, so interesting choice. Would have thinned the deck. Maybe he... No, there's no way he would have had it in the hand though, right?
Yeah, because then he wouldn't be able to resolve it. It probably he just wants to revive a vampire with...
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, the Canadian not being summoned before is definitely huge.
There's the Grace. There's the Kingdom. Alright, are we gonna see a Blue Eyes White Dragon?
Yeah, most likely gonna be seeing it. I guess he had it in the hand and that was like the only summon he could make.
Does he have
or only search almost.
though? I think there's a way for him to vamp this turn as well.
Wait, he drew it? Oh my god, wait. Well, we're about to see though. If he does have the domain, that would be game pretty much. So there is a delay
He's gonna
here.
have to summon Blue Eyes in defense because Grace still won't be able to.
Yeah, Econ is also an extra threat here. Just an Econ take is well, it's basically the same Vampire Vamp play here, since he is most likely going to be sending a Sun Removal monster now to the graveyard. No reason not to, really.
Yeah, if there is a domain in the hand, it's over. We know the set is takeover. So there is a familiar Monka S. Is there going to be a domain?
Oh my god, the suspense is killing me.
I got sweaty hands. Okay, so...
I feel like he would have
He's
activated if he had.
Oh no.
I don't think he
Alright.
would have waited. Most
Yeah.
people just, they're like, okay, I win, and they go in.
It's actually, he can still do it next turn though, right?
He does have. It depends, I guess, if he has the life points at that point.
Are we gonna see a Silver Scry from... I think you would have to set it, honestly, just to play around that domain. But Yasser's not picking up any of his revival cards, it looks like. But actually, no. If he has the revival card, he just wins here.
Yep,
So
yep, exactly. Well, it's Silver Scry, not with
yeah, not with Birthright.
Yeah,
but,
exactly. Birthright would be too slow. Okay, the
There's
psychic,
a psychic
is a prismatic one.
Prismatic. He needs to push for that damage. Canadia would have been so nice here.
Yeah, Canadian would have been game ages ago at this point almost, but yeah.
It's not drowning, it is takeover. Alright, so Taichi's... One of these cards in Taichi's hands is completely worthless to him. It's probably like a True Nade, honestly. So this card he just drew has to be it. Familiar, sending the kingdom. So that's his last kingdom.
Unless he runs free somehow. He can only activate one more effect at this point. But he doesn't have to activate the effects to summon the monsters from the graveyard here. 700 life points. This turn is gonna be it. He needs the vamp. He added a retainer. He sets a monster, not like this. Sets a
those are
background
all
card.
bluffs. They're bluffs.
Everything can run over. Defense position vampires. Silver Scry
There's the
top deck
Silver
one time.
Scry. Oh my god, is this gonna... Alright, I would hit the new set because you know which one takeover is.
Yeah, I would go for the new set as well.
Oh yes,
Sets
I
the
knew it was the
Tornado.
Tornado. Alright, it's over, boys. Sunclan, it will be your Season 3 Team Wars champion.
He's going in for the blue eyes. Nothing to stop it. That's gonna be a game. Yasser actually clutching it out here against vampires. Holy moly. Sunclan ended
That's
up
crazy.
taking the whole thing. It looked so bad at times for them. And they actually ended up being your Season 3 Team Wars champions here.
That was a really, really nice last game.
Yeah, both players were in kind of a slow start position, but then Blue Eyes ended up taking it. Though I feel like the lack of the Canadia summon did slow things extra down though, but holy moly, that was pretty tense.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, are we going to get an interview though is the question at this point.
Alright, I'm gonna ask, but I would be completely understanding
Yeah.
if neither of them want.
Yeah, for sure. And while we're waiting, I'm also just reminding people about the Team Wars Winter League, which group stages begin on Monday, 26th of November. So that's like in 1 week from now, and it's gonna be an $800 plus prize pool, where finalists take all of the winnings with 5-man teams, 32 teams, from the group stage, and then 16 will enter for the single elimination format part. Congratulations again to Sunclan. Also congratulations to Bricks and Potatoes. I mean, second place is still very well done after such a long season. Just barely clutching the spot, just barely making it into playoffs, and then making the whole run all the way to the finals. I mean, it was really strange to see the team start out with losses where like every player is known, every player tops tourneys constantly, even in that format, with for hires topping. Players from Bricks and Potatoes were doing well, but at the same time, not only in tourneys but also in Team Wars, Sunclan was being very consistent and picking up those W's, and in the end it worked out. Yasser's saying this is fun with his quote there. Also another...
Yeah, he definitely had his toggle off. It was understandable though, because he definitely... Because if they commit to the Vamp play and you have a Blue Eyes in your hand, they lose, right? So you don't want them to know at all that you have that.
Yeah, but I mean,
yeah,
there's still a blink, but I guess...
Also, to be fair, do you really expect your opponent to give you a free Canadian there?
Not really, but...
Yeah, so...
It always sucks when it happens. In the end, it didn't matter though, and Sunclan took that one.
Yeah, that was a very exciting Wars to cast. There was also some really interesting duels too, but it ended up all working out in the end for Sunclan.
Yeah, I feel like it's definitely also lucky or fortunate that didn't end up getting any DC games anymore at this point. That's it's always good to see. I feel like the rooms are slightly more stable now, but hopefully Konami still keeps on improving them. Yeah. What's the situation on the interviews?
I actually have no interviews, believe it or not. But what did you think about this season, Nef? As somebody who didn't play on a team, but you casted a lot of games.
Yeah, I casted a couple of games, especially at the start of a season. I feel like I think it was a pretty good season. I think for hires being the big villain at the start of a season was also definitely a an interesting flavor to the whole thing. People were like super anti for hire, and then like some people ran 10 for hire decks, some tried to play as few as possible, and then Slot Magician finally became a counter deck. I don't know. I think it was a good season. We saw a good number of decks though. Sadly, a lot of them like kept coming back and kept being the main ones. But still, it was definitely really interesting. And a lot of teams made those clutch runs with that wildcard spot there.
We're gonna have an interview from Schneefus. Whenever he's ready, you can just join the waiting room. Yeah, the for hires weeks were pretty tilting for me. But also was, I think, because I remember we were doing a cast with YouTube Dan, and he was just like, wow, this is crazy, everybody's just playing for hires. It's probably like the worst thing to show somebody if you were explaining Team Wars. But yeah, it's actually way better now. I really like this current meta.
I mean, I like the current meta for the most part. It's a good meta, but at the same time, for the KC Cup, I don't know. I feel like this KC Cup is really close to the other one in terms of like the top played decks, but there are gonna be some differences, and it's gonna be a whole new world, I guess, in the end. 3k runs, 10 for hires. Yeah, good days. Yeah, Sawas is saying Sniffus wants an interview. PDS told him to join the waiting room.
Yeah,
he's
he's getting dragged up in a second. Hello, Schneefus.
Hello?
He's muted.
I'm unmuting him. Okay. There we go. Hello. Can you hear us, Sniffus? Schneefus?
Dang, he left. Feels bad.
Not like this. Yeah, I unmuted him. I'm not sure what happened there. I even lowered the music volume in game so we could hear him better, but nothing happened, I guess. But yeah, while we're still waiting, I guess I could potentially bring up some upcoming thing graphics as well. I did mention the Winter League, but there's even more, guys. I know it's crazy, but there's even more. So we have for you the aforementioned Winter League with that $800 prize pool right there, 800 plus. Any donations will of course go towards the Winter League again. On top of that, we also have the Duelist Kingdom Trial 24/7 tournaments. 1v1s for 1v1. Use the command 1v1 for the 1v1 command. 4-man tourneys or 8-man tourneys. Whatever time tourneys. Whenever you're free, you can play them. Those are available to subscribers. Oh, did someone join?
Hello, Yasser and Sniffus.
Hello, PDS and Clifford. How are you guys?
Hello, I'm doing pretty well. How about you?
I'm good, man. Just a bit nervous.
It's understandable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really incredible run that you went on.
Thank you. I would have lost because I didn't chain my Canadian because I had my toggle off.
Yeah, because you didn't want him to know you had the...
Yeah, I had the blue eyes in hand, yeah. But that could have cost me the game. It would have haunted me, bro, if I lost that game because of that.
Oh, the toggle off on the mirror wall?
Yeah, the toggle off.
Yeah.
Man, I still can't believe we won. We worked so hard on this. We tested the whole week and we kind of paid off. But it was a close match.
Yeah,
Well
for
played
sure.
on both sides.
I was really happy to see King Swagbody play.
Yeah,
He's
bro.
Like last time Bruno went on a run, I was like, oh wow, I didn't expect that from Bruno. And then King Swagbody also put in work this.
Yeah,
for sure.
I feel like Sunclan were almost like a dark horse in the sense that a lot of the older teams were always like being hyped up by a lot of people, like Free K, even Forbidden Memories, who did get really far, Bricks and Potatoes of course, and like a lot of other teams, but Sunclan were like quietly like just climbing all the ways to the finals. It was really impressive to see.
Thank you.
Yeah, we definitely respected them.
Thank you.
Very, very tough match. Deserved win. I think our strategy could have maybe been better. So yeah, that deserved win. GG's. And yeah, congrats.
Thank you, bro. We practiced the whole week and we decided to bring 3 stall and 30 cut stall for the mirror and for heroes.
Yeah, that's all definitely something that we were afraid of after it won the DLP weekly, and we tested against it. Like, it's so cancerous. It's just every cancerous card in the game in one day. It's even more cancerous than Amazon is.
Yeah, the snowman, they're really nasty for like a mirror.
Yeah.
Thank God he clutched some wins and he done his job. So
I feel a bit disappointed that we didn't end up seeing any Buster Blader in the end, but I guess it wasn't needed.
We thought about bringing Buster Blader, but I mean, it loses to too many decks, so we had to take our chances to bring in Vampires instead. because vampires have a good matchup across
Yeah.
all decks. You know.
Yeah, we actually.
Go ahead.
I think actually like 4 hours before the match, we had a different lineup and we had Buster Blader on it. But then we were like, nah, let's bring Books because like Books can go on and run there better versus other decks, and like you also win versus Blue Eyes with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, that
Yeah,
was the idea.
the scary thing now is though that the blue eyes, if they sack you with deflectors, you just lost your spellbook deck. Like it's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
it's just deflecting, and you would lose that. So you have to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Going forward, I would have to test it more to see if it actually is like the definitive answer.
Yeah, Black Jesus Blue Eyes build, that's definitely very scary.
I don't know how he doesn't break with that deck. I tried this yesterday and I break like so many times. Bro.
I mean, he is known as Brick Jesus, so.
Yeah. Congrats to him. So he done very well yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. 12-0, that's insane.
No, I mean, not to take away anything from Black Jesus, but you guys also did really well, as I said. The 9-3 run and now this run as well. Both teams doing
but like
incredible runs.
He just got robbed in MCS 9 finals when he lost to Chila's Store. Like that was just sad. It's just like he tried, but no.
Yeah, those were.
This
sad
actually
times.
happened twice. He faced Buster Blader with the blue eyes in the Mac Dragon's tournament.
Yeah. Like he always gets countered in the finals.
Yeah, well, I still can't believe we won, bro. It was getting so stressful in voice chats, but we managed.
Yeah, same.
We managed to hold it through. Good games to both teams.
Yeah, GG's.
Well played by you.
Yeah.
And they didn't let me play.
Damn, feels bad, man. Sniffus.
Feels benched.
If I didn't see Snippets in the lineup, I'm gonna riot. Oh, you should have played, bro. You clapped.
Well, thank you. You too.
Thank you.
What a heartfelt moment right here between past enemies.
My team always bullies me. They never tell me anything good. It's just...
You gotta join Team Re for Season 4, Snippus.
Oof.
Speaking of which, I'm also showing the graphic on screen right now for Team Wars Champions League returning in 2019. Bigger prize pool, more teams, more competitions, and competitor or players, whatever. I can't speak English anymore. Competitors. So look forward to that as well. That's gonna be insane, probably. Also really cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that season. Good luck to the new teams that's gonna join us. All teams.
Also, I hope next season we get the prize pool over 4,400. Because then Haw has bragging rights for the biggest tournament with the biggest prize pool.
I mean, we're gonna have a bigger prize pool. That's already decided, so don't worry.
Alright, yeah, then we're good.
P.S. That's gonna come from your PayPal, Sniffus. I'm sorry. But yeah, any other shoutouts you guys want to do? Since both of you are from finalist teams, I feel like you have the mic rights here right now. I don't know, SoundCloud as per usual and stuff like that.
Yeah, you're the winner. Any shoutouts?
Okay, shout out to my teams, bro. They work so hard for this. Shout out to all, every person in the team done his job, whether practicing and making lineups or strategies and all of that. So shout out to them. Yeah, that's all. And thank you to the refs and casters and the organizers of this Team Wars thing. It's been fun. It's been a fun ride, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, also shout outs to my team. Like, we had such a rough start in the format. We went 1-5, and then like Andy made a post, do we want to give up now and just focus on clan wars? And every member said no, let's keep trying. And from like almost giving up to second place, yeah, we're pretty happy with the season we had, honestly, after all. So yeah, shoutouts to the entire team. And then also shoutouts to Miguel and Black Jesus and Tom Videlson, because they're just really nice guys and they always help me out. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, while we have the time, I would also like to thank the organizers and all the people responsible for happening, all the teams. Being able to cast this was really fun. The referees, this especially, like, don't forget about the referees, guys. They are the heroes in the shadows that are allowing this to happen. And if you want to become a referee, look into that. You can find information about how to become a referee in the Discord. I believe there are changes for referees also kind of happening, so that's gonna be interesting, I guess. But yeah, I think this is a really great way to like keep both up to date with the meta in the game. If you're like a solo tournament player, finding a team is definitely huge, or just even watching Team Wars, I think is a really great way to stay up to date with the changes and the spicy text sometimes and everything, and just in general to enjoy the game. It helps, since like the community here is really active as well. So thanks again to everyone who was a part of this, and hopefully I'll see you all in Winter League, and then if I have the chance to cast and maybe even play then in Season 4 of Team Wars as well.
Yeah, thank you guys for casting today. It was fun.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it was a really good match to watch and to cast.
Yeah. It was.
Right, I believe that's going to be it for us. That's gonna have been the last match for Season 4. Thank you for the resub snippets.
DLTWF2P.
And we're gonna see you all in a week in the Winter League. Look forward to that, and have a good one, guys.
And don't forget to look at transfer news, because they're gonna open it.
Yeah, for sure. Don't forget that.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
Goodbye, guys. Goodbye. Thank you.